Right. Now we're alive. I don't know what the bloody hell to say.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of USr1 Retro Saturday Night Live. This first one is a Q&A. Basically, just open, throw your questions at us. We'll answer them, and we'll try and throw questions back at you. But first off, let's have some introductions. First of all, go to Scott. Introduce yourself, and then just pass it right on along.
Scotty.
Yep, no worries. So I'm Scott, a movie critic. Mainly do Friday night live streams, of course, with Nigel, Keith, and Andy, which is so much fun. Definitely the highlight of the week for me. Really enjoy those live streams, and so do monthly live streams on Monday nights as well, which is just me, Keith, and Andy as well. We don't have special guests on that one. That's just where it's just us three or four, shall I say? And yeah, they're a lot of fun as well. But I do also pick up videos throughout each month as well. When I've tried to watch as many films as I can that I've picked up, and obviously listen to as many records as I possibly can as well. So yeah, that's me.
Nice. Yeah, my name's Dan. Dan, for those who don't know, channel's name's Dan's Movie Cave. My solo content just consists of physical media purchases and give a quick review of those. The main content is with the two guys at the bottom, Carlos and Jeff, talking movies live stream, which is topical live streams. We're going to be bringing something else to that very soon. And we also do the Westerns for Life podcast, which we've just filmed another episode today. So there'll be plenty of them, plenty of content to come on the channel. Yeah, over to you, Carlos.
Yeah, my name's Carlos. For those who don't know, Eastwood for Life man. Physical media, movie-related content channel, monthly updates, unboxings, part of the Talking Movies live stream gang with Dan and Jeff, also the Westerns for Life podcast. Yeah, and just loving the YouTube community at the moment and sort of getting involved in a lot of live streams of late. So yeah, it's all good. Jeff?
I'm Jeff, 101 Bronson, similar to the previous three people. A big movie guy, movie collector, movie fan. Also my channel, solo content, a lot of unboxings, pickups, movie reviews. I'm actually doing a series on my YouTube channel right now, the Al Pacino retrospective review series, where I go through every movie of my favorite actor of all time, Al Pacino. Just wrapped season 2 actually yesterday on my latest episode. Other than that, I'm part of the Talking Movies live stream series with these two guys to my right. What's that? To your left, my right, and the guy above me right there, Dan and Carlos. And also one of the 3 co-hosts or hosts on the Westerns for Life podcast. Other than that, I do a lot of impressions and stuff like that. You might hear a couple of this stream. I'm sort of notoriously known for my impressions, so you might hear a couple of them during the stream. And just love movies and everything movie related in general. Mostly the period between 1960 to 2000, I would say. Anything post 2000, I don't watch that much. I'm really more of an old school movie guy, but that's pretty much me in a nutshell right there.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. And for anyone watching, if you want to subscribe to their channels, the links are all below. I highly suggest it, as their content is top notch. Well worth a watch indeed.
Thank you,
Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
No worries, lads. No worries. Right, before we get into the comments, just what have you been watching recently? Just as an opener, what have you been watching recently? Scott?
I haven't actually watched too much, to be fair, recently. But the last film I watched was The Roaring Twenties, which Carlos gave to me. Thank you so much, Carlos. Really do appreciate that. Great film. Really been getting into James Cagney recently. To be fair, he's a fantastic actor. And yeah, that was really entertaining film. Did have a great time with that one.
Nice one. Excellent. Dan, yourself?
2 films I've watched recently. I watched Cellar Dweller, a few nights ago. So picked out that Arrow set and really enjoyed rewatching that again. I didn't quite realise sort of the impact back when I watched it, the little kind of nods in the film to other bits. I really enjoyed rewatching that. I watched The Equalizer 3, that I'd say is the second strongest in the franchise or series. Franchise is a bit forbidden now to say.
Only the certain person is watching.
Yeah. And I watched a really, really odd film last night. Finally got through the whole thing, called Wormwood, an Australian zombie film, which is really quite gory. That's I wouldn't watch it again, but it's definitely out there. That's what I've been watching.
Excellent. Nice one.
I haven't watched that many movies this week as I would have liked. Normally, I do the old community posts in what I've been watching. I did watch Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. The third time I've watched that, and I actually liked it a little bit more, strangely enough, because it's always been one I've really disliked, but I kind of just went in it with a more comedic approach because it is one of the more comedic ones. It was okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but annoying characters. And a couple of days ago, I watched Sergio Leone's first movie, The Colossus of Rhodes, which has kind of gelled together that Dan and Jeff and myself are going to be doing a Sergio Leone live stream, which is going to be announced on Monday with a trailer. And
nice.
A couple of episodes of The Sopranos season 3. About halfway through on the rewatch of that. Great series.
Awesome.
The best.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Jeff?
The most recent thing I watched last night was this Western called Bone Tomahawk.
I still need to see
that as well. Watch that this afternoon, and I forgot to say.
And that should explain why we've watched it. Yeah, we did an episode on that. So, and other than that, this week I've really been getting back into De Palma. I've really been rewatching a few De Palma films like Blowout.
Nice.
Carrie.
Great film.
Dress to Kill. Body Double. And Raising Cain. We're watching those this week. Really been getting into that. I might do De Palma watch parties on my channel soon because I really want to do some of his films. Other than that, I just started watching another Western, which we'll do in the next episode, but I have to finish the last 30 minutes of it. Other than that, not too much really. Mostly rewatches of some action movies and stuff. One of the rewatches was Foxy Brown with Pam Grier, 70s blaxploitation. I rewatched that one again this week as well. So that's pretty much all I've been watching this week.
Nice, excellent. I watched part of True Lies on Thursday evening because I got it through the post. And in fact, I was saying to Scott before you guys turned up, a load of reviews said that the picture was all like really like waxy and it was like too overdone and all that. I only found that in a couple of places. The rest of it was really nice and nicely detailed on it. I must admit. So I need to go back and finish off watching the rest of it. But no, I watched part of that. I watched Terminator 2 earlier on.
Terminator 2.
Yes, I knew it was coming. I watched during the week The Fugitive.
That
was top-notch picture on that one. And Saving Private Ryan. And that's another one because I messaged you about it, Dan. That's another one that looks really nice on 4K. Really nice.
Has it still got the issues on that disc? They look like kind of beams from spaceships coming down there. They're on the first pressing.
I think they did in certain parts, but I think that's probably just how I think that's probably just how it was filmed, because it was the same as War of the Worlds, which was done a few years later. I think it was the same guy who done the cinematography. Jans something or other. I can't remember his last name. I think it was him that done it was the director of photography or something. So it's probably like the same, the same effect on it.
Mm.
But to be honest, to me, it didn't detract from it too much.
Oh.
It was still watchable. Picture was still great. So it's in the 2 for 30 in HMV. So it was
already
pretty good.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, same as The Fugitive as well.
Okay.
So worth picking up. Really worth picking up. Right. So I'll tell you what. Let's head to let's turn my mouse back on first. My mouse seems to go off every 5 seconds because it's on batteries. Right. Let's go to the comments. Right. So the first one, Sammy G's World of Cinema. Hello to you.
Hey, Sammy G.
Right there, Sammy.
Welcome. It says, hi, Mike, Scott, Carlos, Dan, and Jeff. Happy weekend, lads. What have you guys currently got on pre-order? I hope to get the upcoming 4K editions of Once Upon a Time in the West and Chinatown. I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys start off on this one. I'll tell you what, Scott, you want to start off?
I actually haven't got anything on pre-order at the moment, actually, to be fair, but the one I'm really, really looking for when it comes out, and I'll be pre-ordering it as soon as it gets announced, will be the Hitcher 4K. That's the one I'm most excited about for sure.
Okay. For me, finally, I won't say too much. Jeff will say a bit more, I'm sure. But end of this month, China O'Brien 1 and 2 on 4K from Eureka. I cannot wait for that. And I've also got The Last Kumite on pre-order as well, which I'm really looking forward to those. There's a few more I'm going to be pre-ordering a bit later, but there's no immediate rush for them. I mean, the title I should let you say about Mike, which you think's coming out from 88 Films, I'd definitely be pre-ordering. They're the two I've currently got on pre-order. About you, Carlos?
As well, I've ordered also ordered the China O'Brien 1 and 2. Also the Crow. I did pre-order that one. I want to jump on Once Upon a Time in the West. I'm not really I'm not jumping for joy for with the packaging, because I really, probably most of us would agree. I think it really deserves a lot better than what's involved. Because I've had some of those Paramount editions from the US, and I don't think they were really worth the money, in my opinion. But having said that, I think it's more about getting the movie, and the transfer is going to be the selling point rather than the bits and pieces. Yeah. I mean, it probably would have deserved something like a Second Sight Films, in my opinion, but we're not getting that, obviously. So it's kind of just more for the transfer and the discs. So I probably will pick that one up nearer the date and pre-order that as well as the others.
Okay. What about yourself, Jeff?
As to those two, I haven't pre-ordered them, but I will get them both. People that know me might know that my favorite movie of all time is Scarface. But if you ask me what my second favorite movie of all time is, it's Once Upon a Time in the West. So I'll definitely be getting that. Chinatown, I absolutely freaking love that film. One of my favorite Jack Nicholson films. So I'll definitely be getting that in 4K. I'm thinking that's going to look really, really great on 4K with the way it's shot and everything. Or now, what I do have on pre-order is, and actually just shipped out yesterday from Australia, from Umbrella, the collector's set of Coffee with Pam Grier. Pre-ordered that one. It's on my way. It's on the way to me. And I've also pre-ordered, what Dan mentioned, China O'Brien 1 and 2 on 4K from Eureka. And I've also pre-ordered the last Kumite as well. So that's what I've got on pre-order at the moment.
Nice. Excellent. Well, I've got the China O'Brien set on pre-order. As soon as that was released, I was like, no, I'm all over that like a fat kid on cake. I've got to pre-order it.
Same.
Got to pre-order it. And I even told Jeff, Dan about it. Just said to like tell everyone else about it, because it was like, that would have, well, it's got to be got, because it's literally it's the first time since the VHS era that it's been available over here to buy. It's got to be,
because the only DVD you could get was US or German, I think. Yeah.
Well, I got an Australian DVD of 1 and 2, but they had French subtitles underneath.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, it was burnt in French subtitles. I was watching it and I'm like, hang on a minute. And I looked at the back of the case and it had like the Australian thing, because it was Hollywood Boulevard, I think it was. And I looked and I'm like, yeah, Australian release. Why has it got French subtitles? So I went to turn it off and they're burned in. So I'm like, oh, great.
I never knew they spoke. I never knew they spoke French in Australia. I never knew that.
I know.
So was it? So was it an Australian release? Was it French?
It was an Australian release. I'm certain it was. I'm doubting myself now. I really am.
No, because the only reason why I say this is what I mentioned to Dan once. We picked up that Charles Bronson movie, You Can't Win Them All, which is a rare Charles Bronson movie.
Oh yeah,
that was. It was released. It was released in France. Yeah, and a lot of the French releases always
burn in subtitles.
They always have burnt-in subtitles. So I think when I told Dan about that, Dan was a little bit dubious about picking that one up. And I said, the picture's great. It's widescreen. It's first time released on Blu-ray. And Dan said straight away, it hasn't got the old French burnt subtitles. I said, no, it hasn't. And
excellent.
I think I've purchased at least 5 or 6 French releases in the past before, only to be really disappointed and kind of got rid of them, because I don't want, who wants French burnt in subtitles when they're watching a movie? You get the case of most countries like in Germany and other countries where you could kind of have the choice of having those subtitles, but the French releases, they kind of right, we're having it.
Yeah, that's the same as there was a release of Mission to Mars a few years ago on Blu-ray, and I thought, oh, great, because I like the film Mission to Mars, always have done. And I thought, right, I'll pick up the French release, and then I think it was on Blu-ray.com. It's like, don't get it. It's got burnt-in subtitles, and you can't remove them. So I'm like, oh, great. And it wasn't until about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, that a German outfit released a media book, and it was only something like 20 euros or something. So I was like, right, I'm buying that. No burnt-in subtitles whatsoever. So I'm glad I held out and got that one instead of the French one. I think I would have been pulling my hair out at that. So definitely.
You're always better off going with Germany rather than French.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I've got a few media books. I've got Juggernaut, Philadelphia Experiment, and Alien versus Predator.
Nice.
I've got about 50 media books in my collection. Yeah, I love the media books.
They are nice. They are nice. I mean, I've still got that Bloodsport 4K book. I was going to get rid of it, but I thought, no, I'll keep it. I can't be bothered to get rid of it. So I'm glad to have it. Though. I really am. But I've got no other pre-orders on the go. I did have the last Kumite, but I had to cancel it. But I am looking forward to Aliens on Monday, Evolution through 88 films, and Vertical Limit through 88 films.
Oh yeah,
they're
strange release.
Okay.
Sorry, Dan.
I said it's a strange release. 88 films putting out Vertical Limit. It just doesn't go hand in hand for me. There's nothing wrong
No.
with it.
Yeah,
it is a weird film, but I mean, they're bringing out American Pie on 4K in a couple of months' time as well, and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that's a weird one. But to be honest, I think I've always liked the first American Pie over the other ones. I can take them or leave them. Same with Jurassic Park.
I'll probably
American
slightly
Pie's
prefer the
great.
second one. The second one, yeah.
I think that's my favourite as well, to be fair. The second one, I love that film. It's great.
But
It kind of looks like 88 films and kind of going the Arrow video route of releasing kind of mainstream movies now, where before they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I picked up Miami Vice, the Michael Mann movie, and that's a bit of an odd, I mean, that's a high budget glossy movie, and it's on the 88 films
big studio
label.
film.
Just odd.
That was, I mean, when it was announced, I was like, do what? But then it's got both versions of the film on there. It's got both cuts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, any film where they put both cuts on the disc, is, I suppose it's a step in the right direction. But going back to what Dan was saying earlier on about something that I sent him, 88 films apparently are going to be releasing Masters of the Universe in the UK. Their banner, they're going to change their banner over, and it was all blurred out, and you could see it was Dolph Lundgren with the power sword.
Oh yeah, the power. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah,
Nice.
it was all blurred out, and loads of people turned around and said Masters of the Universe. If they release that in 4K over here, oh yeah. Even if it's just standard Blu-ray with all the special features from the Umbrella release, because the US version's just I think all it is just a commentary and a trailer, isn't it? I think.
I think so.
Yeah, because I know that's what the DVD had as well. But
I got the Dutch Blu-ray of it at the moment. It's bare bones. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs a nice release because it's got its fans out there.
Need to see that one.
I've always enjoyed it ever since I was a kid. I mean, I still remember us getting the VHS from John Menzies in Harlow, and got it home and watched it, and I was just like, I want to watch it again. And I rewound it and watched it again. I just loved it. I've still.
Yeah, I've always heard bad things. I've always heard bad things about it, but then when I actually checked it out for myself, I didn't really watch trailers or anything beforehand. I just sat down and watched it. I actually really enjoy it. It's not a terrible film or anything. It's pretty decent.
No, it is pretty decent. It is. But the one thing I'm hoping when they release it, one of the special features is talking about the aborted sequel. Directed by Albert Pine. Yeah. Or PM, however you pronounce his last name. Sorry.
The
Director
of Cyborg. Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
I love Cyborg. One of my favourites. Cyborg.
Cyborg's good.
I wasn't overly keen on it, to be honest. I can't find. I think it's just that weird fight scene at the end when he goes, "Oh,
That's dubbed as well. His voice is dubbed.
Yeah,
who's that?
Bad, yeah.
The main bad guy, his voice is dubbed because he had like a really
Vincent Clinton.
Yeah.
So his voice didn't match his physical imposing character when he was doing the sort of screaming.
Oh, right. That's quite funny, to be fair. That's
I do want to see the director's cut called Slinger.
I've got that.
I do want to see it. I'm certain I have got it, but I'll be buggered if I can find it anywhere. It's disappeared into my movie black hole. I just can't find it at all.
It's unwatchable though. The footage on the German one, titled Slinger, I forget the name of the company put it out. It's worse than the sort of uncut version of Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. The footage is
really?
You can't make it
it's
out.
A work print. It's a work print. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. I just hope that one day someone gets a hold of it and they manage to do a proper HD job on it and just release it properly. But if it happens, it happens. But right, next comment we've got. Once my mouse has decided to come back to life. Right, we've got Wilkie's movies and music. Hey all.
Hi,
Hello, buddy.
Corey, my friend.
Minagel. Hi, hello chaps. How we diddling?
Nigel?
Hello,
Great to
Nigel.
have you here.
tuning in.
Yep, great to have you here, mate. Thanks for joining us. He says, has anyone generally got any little interest for Deadpool and Wolverine, or is it a big no? I'm excited. I really hope it's worth it and delivers. Hope it's good with all the hype around. I'm kind of on the fence because, to be honest, I'm worn out with comic book movies. I think I was worn out after Endgame. I mean, especially with all the TV stuff that was coming out and all the other films that were coming out, they just didn't grab me whatsoever. I did see Multiverse of Madness, and it didn't go as far as what I'd hoped with Sam Raimi. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'll probably maybe catch it when it's on Sky. I just don't, I've got no urgency to go and watch it, let's just say. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I'm sort of on the fence as well. I do actually really enjoy the first two Deadpool films. I think they're both very solid, but I'm just burnt out from these comic book films, in all honesty. I just don't get excited for them anymore. Way too many. It probably will be a good film, to be fair, but I'm not going to go and watch it at cinema, that's for sure. But I probably will watch it eventually.
What about yourself, Dan?
For me, that ship has sailed long ago now. The first Deadpool I actually really liked, and I put that down because there was no Disney interference, but now Disney have got hold of all this stuff. They do it exactly how they want. And it's not going to be anywhere near the markers like Deadpool. The first one was the crude jokes. That was a little bit special. I put that film kind of like in the same realm as Guardians of the Galaxy. It was special. But then the second one just plummeted, and generally I've got no interest. I think Hugh Jackman is well past it now, in all honesty. And Ryan Reynolds, I get fed up with seeing him all over the sports news because of Wrexham, and I'm just not interested. It's gone. It's well gone now. I honestly probably wouldn't even watch a Marvel film if Van Damme was cast as a Marvel character. Gone off with him.
Hold on now. That might make me want to watch one.
I couldn't watch it because Disney have got it. Disney have it. I'm not interested.
What about yourself, Jeff?
Yeah, for me, no, it's not really my thing. Marvel. I mean, the last thing Marvel that I really rate highly is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Other than that, they're not really for me. And before that, it's the Dolph Lundgren Punisher film. I love that film. I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, but beyond that, not really. Not really a big Marvel fan, to be honest.
That's fair enough. I can completely understand that. I really can. Carlos?
I've got to be honest. I think the Marvel and DC movies, I don't think they should be doing another one for at least 10 years. It's just sheer overload. I think if you're going to do one, Spider-Man or Batman one, because those characters have got a pull with the fans, but all the other sort of characters, they've just gone to the well too often with some of the lesser characters and kind of unknown characters. And I think I even think the Marvel and DC fans, they don't look forward to the latest batch of movies that have been out. I mean, look at some of the movies that's been cancelled. So that tells you that really says it all, really. A 10-year wait for the next movie would be fine with me. But I guess probably what they'll probably do is maybe restrict that to a couple of years because they just can't help themselves, because they thought it was a really kind of conveyor belt of this kind of draws with every movie. That's why they were pumping out so many. But I don't think they wouldn't be able to help themselves. I think probably 2-3 years they'd probably think, oh, we've got an idea. This is going to come back better. But like Dan says, I think it's kind of the ship sailed. Really, it's at its time. Let's give another kind of genre of movies, or type of movies, more of a, there's appeal out there for something else different. I'm pretty sure, but Hollywood's just not found it. Why should we go back to kind of like the horror kind of reboots and the Marvel and DC movies? These are ideas that I've done. We need something fresh, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I have to totally agree with that. I really do. I mean, I know someone did reel off a list of like original films that have come out, but I mean, some of those original films did break through, but most of them just got swallowed up by tentpole movies like Marvel, DC, and even sequels, prequels, reboots. What was the one that me and Jem watched when I was in the States? It was Accidental Texan. We decided to just go and watch it on the strength of the trailer, and the idea was good, but we were bored out of our nuts. Absolutely bored shitless. You know, it was one of those films where it had a good cast with Carrie-Anne Moss, Thomas Hayden Church, and the ones who played like the oil drillers and that. But you could quite simply tell after maybe about half an hour what was going to happen. So it's just, when you've got an original film like that just relies on a tried and trusted storyline, you can tell what's going to happen. You lost your audience straight away. At least I think so.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think an original film needs pretty much an original idea to break through. But that's, as I say, that's just what I think. I could be talking complete and utter bollocks, and probably I probably am, because I've literally at the end of my first can of Jack Daniels and Coke. So and all I've had is a salad to wash it up with. So basically, I'm screwed. But yeah, no, totally agree with what everyone said. As I said, they need to just leave it alone for a while. He also says he feels like a lot is riding on this one.
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree.
Yeah. It's going to need something to bring the fans back, I think. And I suppose having Wolverine in it might bring the fans back. But I don't know with that one. He says the new trailer is expected to release in May. So guys, brace yourself for all the reveals and spoilers. I'm in two minds seeing the second trailer. Yeah. Actually, that's a very good point with like YouTube and Facebook and all that, and people posting spoilers. And also trailers. Yes,
trolls,
that's the one. Yeah, and also with like trailers as well, giving away too much. I mean that's actually a very good point. Do you think that trailers should go back to how they used to be in, say, like 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, where they don't reveal a lot? They give you a little tidbit, like a little fishing rod to reel you in. Because one of the biggest culprits of just giving away the whole storyline was Terminator Genesis. As soon as you saw the trailer, it was like, right,
I was going to say.
It's like, I don't need to go and see the film. No, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I agree, definitely. I think trailers should go back to how they used to be and not reveal too much, but especially with some of the Marvel trailers. Some of the Marvel trailers have revealed way too much, that's for sure. Yeah, sometimes the trailers could be absolutely ridiculous and just spoil the entire film, and it's just absolutely pointless when you actually see the film. So, yeah, definitely agree with that.
Yeah. For me, I think a trailer should be 60 seconds, tops. Before I come on here, I was actually watching a trailer reel for up and coming films, and one stood out. I thought, oh, this looks good. A bit of a comeback from Josh Hartnett, probably the most hit and miss direction M. Night Shyamalan. It's a film called Trapped, and you get a vibe that there's a serial killer trapped in this arena for this concert. The police are there trying to find him, but then into the second minute, it's obvious who the serial killer is. Quite clear. And I'd put £100 on it now. Who I'm thinking is the killer is the killer. I don't want to say in case anyone watching is planning on seeing it. I just thought 3 minutes 12 seconds. This could have been 90 seconds because you've spoilt that film, and now you won't get my money. I like 60 seconds. I remember going to school and discussing some of the action trailers we've seen on video rentals, and like, oh, did you see that bit? Did you see that kick from him? And then the next bit, the Double Impact trailer, where he's fighting Bolo Young, just little bits of that, and then when he's fighting, Chad and Alex are fighting, but you don't know what parts of the film that's happening. But with a new trailer, you kind of can tell beat for beat when that is in a film.
Yeah.
Hate it. A teaser's enough. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, same as Dan. I mean, give me teasers. I mean, just like 60-second trailers or whatever that don't really show too much. Maybe if they just have one scene and it's just enough to get you excited. Like I remember being very hyped for Spectre, the Bond film, back in 2015, and I didn't watch the big trailer or the trailer 2, what they do nowadays, or the final, what is it, the release trailer or something, whatever they call it when they release one in the last week or something. The teaser trailer is enough for me, and I remember in particular that teaser trailer for Spectre. I mean, it just was like 60 seconds. I had a few bits here and there. That had a reveal of Christoph Waltz. Everybody knew he was going to be Blofeld, but of course they wouldn't want to reveal it. But it was pretty fucking obvious. But yeah, no, I love that teaser trailer and teaser trailers of that sort. So yeah, give me those sort of things any day. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, they had like 3-4 minute trailers. Sometimes they would also, to be honest, show quite a bit of the movie. Nothing to the extent I would say of like Terminator Genesis, where they literally reveal the full plot twist. But I remember even watching the trailer for Scarface that they did back in the 80s. They showed a lot of Scarface in that trailer, which was surprising. They even showed the final shootout, literally from the last 10 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, that is something that all the trailers are guilty of as well, to be fair. So that's why, in general, I prefer the teaser trailers, the shorter ones.
Yeah, I have to agree with
Funny
that.
thing is, this question came up on one of the live streams that we did with Scotty, Dan, and Jeff. Best trailers, and one of my answers was that the original Terminator 2 teaser trailer that I'd seen in the sort of couple of months before. Basically, they showed Arnie, the cyborg, getting built.
And it wasn't even in the movie.
Yeah, it was a 30-second clip.
Just filmed for that trailer, yeah. It wasn't even a movie, yeah.
And I think now what they should do with trailers is kind of maybe film a couple of scenes, not actually movie scenes, but kind of behind closed doors or whatever, or in a studio, and 30 seconds to a minute max, but not showing literally any scene of the movie. So you go into a movie totally blind, not knowing. I mean, nowadays when I click onto YouTube and I think, oh, okay, I want to check this movie out, I'll have a look at the trailer. Oh, 3 minutes. I'm just going to watch 30 to 40 seconds. While I'm watching it, if I get the idea that they're revealing too much, I'll just switch it off. Because I want to go into a movie, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. Oh, that's something a bit different. It's like what Jeff says. It's true that some of the movies in the 70s and 80s, I mean, the trailers wasn't that good in the 70s and 80s. I mean, they're a lot more jazzed up now with with clips and editing and music, and they would show bits of an ending. And you don't really want to you don't really want to see that. Dan says, you know, by watching the trailer of that movie that he saw earlier, he now has got a general idea who that serial killer, who the main killer is going to be.
Yeah.
They need to kind of flip it on the other side and think, right, we're not going to give too many clues away. Something different. I get it that they got to sell the movie and sort of show an action scene or show explosion or a bit of flesh or a couple of cars getting smashed and flipped, but you don't, you know, literally brief flashes. You don't want to see sort of continuous clips, you know, 3 or 4 seconds long. You want to literally flash scenes because it just kind of ruins the experience of a movie. It really, really does. I mean, if you're going to want to watch a movie, you kind of want to be a bit surprised rather than knowing what to expect. Well, that's me anyway.
Yeah.
But
Your biggest movie surprise for you, Carlos, always makes me laugh, is Goodfellas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean that one, yeah. I mean, I mean, the funny thing is when I saw the trailer of that,
funny how
it was actually it was kind of made to look a bit like a black comedy. You know, like as far back as I wanted to be a gangster, and you see the young sort of Ray Liotta when his mother sort of looks at his suit, you look like a gangster.
You dress like a gangster. Yeah,
it kind of looked like a comedy. So I literally went into that thinking, oh, it's a comedy. And then sort of the first opening scenes, the stabbings, you know, Frank Vincent in the back of the boot getting stabbed with a blade.
Yeah.
I looked at my mates and said, I don't think this is a comedy. I think, you know. So it's just nice, you know, for a change to not know what to expect from a movie. You know, I mean, with a gangster movie and a horror movie, you kind of get the general idea anyway that there's going to be violence, there's going to be killings. But why sort of see certain clips? You know, I mean, if someone's a movie fan anyway, you have the story panned out as you're watching. Oh, this is probably going to happen anyway. But you kind of want to be a little bit shocked and surprised.
Yeah.
You know, which doesn't really happen that often in Hollywood movies these days. I mean, look at the Korean movies. They're just throwing the rule book out the window and, you know, it's just totally messed up. Some of the storylines that they put on screen.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, I was reading about the film Audition, where this guy's like auditioning for, I think it's like a wife or something. And the woman, bloody hell, she goes absolutely psycho. And I want to check the trailer out for it. Yeah. I definitely want to check it out because it sounds gruesome, but it sounds quite interesting with the idea and that. But no, I totally get what everyone was saying about like trailers. Yeah, definitely a minute long, and don't put anything in there that's going to be spoilerish. You know. Yeah. And one of the other things that pisses me off with modern trailers is that as soon as it starts, it shows a couple of clips, and then it brings up the title, and then it says "Trailer starts now." Just go straight into the trailer.
Yeah,
I hate that. That really. I was going to say pokes my bumhole, but
that's just way too much information.
Exactly. All right, then that really pokes me in the eyeball. There you go. That's better. That's better.
That really does a Lucio Fulci. Yeah,
that's the one. Yes, with a really sharp, pointy stick. No, it's just every single time a trailer starts like that, I'm like, right, okay, I'm turning that off. I can't stand it. I hate it. I don't know what everyone else thinks of that.
I hate the modern sort of music that goes in those trailers, those deep bassy synth, and then fades to black every 10 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss the old 90s trailers where you had the guy doing the voiceover in a world, you know, and then you had.
Oh yeah.
I miss that guy.
Yeah.
He's passed away, Jeff.
He did, yeah.
Probably.
They can get a voice alike. Somebody sounds like it. Yes, this is my open audition to be the trailer guy in a world gone wrong. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
You know
Brilliant.
what? If I ever do a fan trailer of Cyborg, Jeff, you got to do the voiceover.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is
Yeah.
the only man saving the world. One man, one mission, one desire. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
That's good. That's really, really good. I like that. He also says, first time discovering your channel, USr1 Retro, but I'll sub to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. That's great. Thank you. We've got Video Tasties. Hey, fellas and the
Gareth.
Dutchman. Hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you very much for
It's the
joining us.
Welshman who now lives in England. Hey, there he is.
Minajul says, what films are you excited for this year? I5, Deadpool and Wolverine, Alien Romulus, Sonic 3, Longlegs and the Watchers, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'll go back to that first comment. Deadpool and Wolverine, we've already covered. Alien Romulus. Now, I didn't go a lot on Alien Covenant. I just for me, it was a one-watch film. I liked it at the cinema, bought the Blu-ray, watched half of it, couldn't get through it because the characters were so fucking stupid. They make me look smart. So I sold the Blu-ray. Right? I've still got the Blu-ray of Prometheus. I must admit, that for me is a guilty pleasure. It's not great. It's okay. Again, smart characters doing dumb things, they make me look intelligent. But I for some reason, I do have a very small soft spot for it. Alien Romulus, I am looking forward to it because it's set between Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
So it's got that kind of alien feel, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, definitely. Sonic 3, I don't know. I like the first one. Second one I couldn't get into. Third one, probably take it or leave it. And then Longlegs and the Watchers. No idea what the hell that is. It sounds like some kind of, I don't know, Spectrum game. Like Beaky and the X-Catchers or something.
Yeah.
Or Eric and the Floaters or something. I don't know. And honestly, that was an actual game on the Spectrum, Eric and the Floaters. It was retitled Bomberman for the NES. Yeah, honestly. And the guy on the front cover looked like an Indiana Jones knockoff. Oh, have a look for the cover if you can. It's actually pretty awesome cover. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Sorry?
I said, yeah, definitely. I'll look into that. That sounds quite funny, to be fair.
It is. It's just the name as well. Eric and the Floaters. It's just, you know, is he battling you turds or something, you know? Yeah, as I say, Longlegs and the Watchers. Don't know what the hell that is. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know. I think I'd have to go back and watch the other ones first before I go and watch that one. Scott, what about you, mate? What are you looking forward to?
I think Alien Romulus will be quite interesting, to be fair. I still need to check out that teaser trailer. I heard it's brilliant, but yeah, so I definitely will give that a watch at some point, and hopefully it'll be quite decent as well. Kingdom Planet of the Apes I'll probably watch as well, as I do like the newer trilogy. Still need to see the older films, but the new trilogy I thought was absolutely incredible, to be fair. Other films I'm looking forward to, Maxine's the main one for me. I think that is going to be absolutely amazing. The trailer looked awesome. Didn't really spoil anything for as far as I could tell. So, yeah, great trailer. Looks awesome. Cannot wait for that one. And I'm intrigued to check out Beetlejuice 2 as well, actually. I think that might be quite interesting.
Okay. I mean, I didn't go a lot on the first Beetlejuice, so I don't know if I'd watch the second one, but
That's
I'm weird like that. Yeah, I'm weird like that. So I like films that other people don't. So as my mates always told me I'm weird, so you know I'll run with it. Dan, what about yourself, mate?
So yeah, I've just pulled up the list because, as you probably all know, I'm not that struck on new films. But yeah, the two what sprung to mind, and they're the only two jumping out anyway, is Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Horizon. Gladiator 2, I personally don't think they should do another one. The
Yeah.
first one's nigh on perfect.
Yeah.
And I am a bit dubious about the Joker Part 2 because I think the first one, albeit I found it quite a harrowing watch. Actually, it's just more of an exploration of mental health. I thought with King of Comedy influences, I do think Joker is a great film. So I'm surprised Joaquin Phoenix is actually doing a sequel. I'm very surprised knowing how particular he is. So yeah, I'd say it's just going to be Horizon and Beverly Hills Cop 4. I will say for some reason I'm drawn to watch a TV show that's just come out, but I don't stream, so hopefully it gets a physical release, and that's the Fallout series. It looks quite good because
That's what I've heard. That's
it's
great.
the director. Why it's standing out to me? The director said he's been influenced by the good, the bad, and the ugly in his making of it. So that's piqued my interest.
I didn't know that.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
I read that and I thought, oh, I'm going to give it a go. So that's mine.
I must admit, sorry to interject, I must admit, I watched the first episode because I got a free trial of Amazon Prime, so I thought I'll watch it. I watched the first episode, and you know what? It's a lot better than I thought it would be. I need to watch the other episodes, but it's a good opening, really good opening.
Right.
I recommend it.
Nice.
Definitely. What about yourself, Jeff?
Out of the ones that Nigel mentioned there, yeah, definitely Alien Romulus is the one that I would be curious for. Despite me not being the biggest, most massive sci-fi fan, I do like the Alien films. Definitely the first two more than any other, but even some of the sequels I can enjoy on its own merits. Not the biggest fan though of the recent Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I haven't even seen Alien Covenant yet because Prometheus really turned me off. But yeah, this new one with it being set between the original two in the middle, sort of like the video game Alien Isolation, which also took place in between both films. That would be an interesting concept for a movie for sure, for an Alien film. So I'm intrigued by it. The teaser trailer did look good. Other than that, let me see. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, which Dan mentioned. That's another one I would like to see. It's a shame it probably won't be getting a theatrical run. I think that's going to go straight to Netflix, but I'm still going to watch that regardless. I love the Beverly Hills Cop series. Other than that, I actually do want to check out that new Omen film, the reboot, or yeah, I think it's a reboot. Takes place before the first one, or prequel. Yeah, that's the word. I've heard really positive things about it, so it seems like it's a good one. I mean, I love the original one, the Richard Donner 1970s original one. But I've heard this one comes closer, and this one feels like a 70s film, etc. So it has from what I've heard, the right look and the right feel for an Omen film. So I'm definitely excited for it. That'll probably be one I'll be catching on the big screen. I think that's out already at this moment, isn't it? Yeah. I think I'm gonna catch that as soon as I can. I've really been hearing good things about it, so that's probably gonna be one of them.
Horizon, does that interest you?
Forgot about that. Yeah, the Kevin Costner one. That's definitely one I'm intrigued about as well. Yeah,
that does look pretty good actually from a trailer. I watched that as well. That does look awesome.
That trailer looked awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What about yourself, Carlos?
The new Omen movie. I originally wasn't gonna be looking into that, but I mean, I do love the first two, and when they said that it's got like a real 1970s feel to it, I mean, I really do pick and sort of select my movies if I'm going to watch them on the big screen, especially for the prices that they charge. So I'm going to give that one a shot. The new Planet of the Apes movie, as much as I enjoyed the trilogy, and I thought it really did end perfectly. When they did announce the new movie, I was kind of like, why? It's like it had a fitting ending. Why continue with it? I am looking forward to it. That's definitely one I will be watching. The two Horizon American Saga Kevin Costner westerns that we got coming out, which is going to be part of the trilogy. I think June and August they're set to be released. 100% that's going to be a cinema watch. And also Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, even though it's a Netflix exclusive, it's one I definitely do want to watch. And possibly the new Aliens movie. It's just because of the setting and the timeline that's kind of grabbed my attention. Even though I haven't seen Covenant, the last one. But I didn't mind Prometheus. That was one I did watch in the cinema. It was okay.
Well, you know what? I completely forgot about the first Omen. That's one I really need to watch, because I watched the Omen on Laserdisc when I was still over in the States. I think it was a few weeks ago. And I forgot how good it really was. It was
great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Brilliant film.
it wasn't all out scary. It was just tense, and it creeped you out. And I think that's what's missing from many modern horror films, just this overall feeling of dread, you know, that kind of thing. And I completely forgot about the fourth Beverly Hills Cop as well.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll keep my eye on it for definite. I mean, after number 3, which I thought at the time when I was a kid, I liked it, but watching it like a few years ago, I was like, just now.
I can take or leave the third one, to be honest. But the
Do you know what?
classics.
I actually enjoyed all of them. I mean, yeah, it's the weakest one out of the 3. I kind of like the idea in a theme park. It was just something a little bit wacky and different. And yeah, I mean, it was something a little bit different. I mean, they hold a great load of memory for me, because I'd watched all 3 of them on the big screen, and was hoping that the 4th one was going to be on the big screen to cap it off, that I've seen all 4, but it's not to be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. That brings me on nicely to a point that I didn't send you guys. Sequels. When they release a sequel, I mean, especially with the likes of Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Top Gun Maverick, when they release them, do you think that too much time has gone by to release a sequel like that? Or do you think, in regards of Top Gun Maverick, because the story fit, do you think that was released at the right time, or do you think they should have done it a little bit earlier, same as Beverly Hills Cop 4? Because I know Beverly Hills Cop 4, they were teasing that for, it seems like 100 years or so.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They were going, yeah, it's going to be a film, then it's going to be a series, then it's going to be a film, then it's going to be a series. And then it just kind of just fell off the face of the earth. And now all of a sudden, oh, look, it's coming to Netflix. And it's like, you know, the last one was what, 93, 94? 93 roughly?
94, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 30 years later, and it's like, I don't know. It's got to have, for me, it's got to have a good story to hook me in. But what do you think about sequels coming out 30, 40 years after the originals?
In some cases, I do think it is way too long for a sequel to get released. But in terms when it comes to Top Gun Maverick, I think that actually worked out quite well, because it was actually a fantastic sequel. It was probably my favourite film that came out that year, off the top of my head, if I remember correctly. And it was way better than the original. So in that case, that definitely worked out well. But there's definitely other sequels that come out like years and years later. It just do not work at all, and it's definitely way too late for them to release a sequel. I would love to see One to Tango Cash, but again, it's way too late now. Like, it's too long gone.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick is a perfect example of pretty much a perfect film. I think it's better than the first. Loved everything about it. Another example on when it's too late for a sequel is Bad Boys 3, where Martin Lawrence is clearly past it. I love the first 2 Bad Boys films. I think they're great buddy cop comedy action films. But that was too long. I think Arnie keep coming back. Terminator is too long.
Yeah.
And even though I watch it, I think another Lethal Weapon is far too long. I mean, they're both well old now, especially Danny Glover. Beverly Hills Cop, so I'm looking forward to it because I think Eddie Murphy was he about early 60s. He can still pull it off. He doesn't look that old. But I think as well where there's this need. There's always been a need with people growing up. They always want another sequel, and I think if a sequel's rushed, doesn't turn out particularly good. I think a good space in between is 5 years, kind of how Nolan done the Batman films. I think it's about 5 years. They work well. But I think now is just where we're getting a lot of movies with no substance. I think that needs to dig back into these sequels that are going to bring back the likes of us fans who want good things, old things, a bit of nostalgia. So for me, a movie fan, there's nothing pulling me in unless they've got some kind of nostalgic connection to it, but it's got to be done right. I think 5 years between it, but certain things should be left alone. Another example I've got to give because I thought it was a fantastic film was Rambo 4, and that was years and years after. The last
20
one,
years. 20 years, yeah.
The last
Right,
one, not so much, but Stallone still got it. I just think it's the actual script of that film just didn't work. Yes, a few thoughts from me.
I absolutely love
I have to
Rambo.
agree with that. What do you reckon, Jeff?
Yeah, pretty much what Dan said. Crap, just almost knocked over my thing. Yeah, no, certain legacy sequels, they can definitely be too late. Yeah, in the case of Top Gun Maverick, it was very successful. Although I must admit, I still haven't seen it yet. I keep meaning to, but I just I don't know, it keeps sort of going by me. But yeah, that was definitely a very, very successful film, money wise and stuff. It was a big earner. Yeah, with certain things, certain projects, I would say let it rest in the 80s or whatever. Because honestly, now with all that woke crap that's going on in Hollywood, we got to make every film fit the agenda and stuff. I mean, do we really want a Lethal Weapon 5 with the modern politics? I mean, those films were so 80s and 90s with some of the stuff in there. It just won't be the same, I think. I mean, I'm still curious about Lethal Weapon 5 because I love those two guys and I love the whole series. I love all four of them. I definitely want to see it, but I'm not sure if it's going to play out, on the same level as the first four. I actually did not mind, which Dan pointed out. I actually didn't mind the third Bad Boys film. I think they're going to do even a fourth one. I think the trailer dropped recently.
The trailer's out.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I did see Bad Boys for Life, which is the third one. Which is they should have called that the fourth one for life, and they could have done the gimmick of the fourth.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind it. I saw it in cinema. It was a welcome, return of those characters of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. So yeah, that's a franchise or series that Nigel's watching. Sorry, that's a series where I don't really mind that it's been so long. I still really thought both Lawrence and Will Smith they turned in a good performance, and they still felt like the same characters from what was it 20 years ago by that point, or 15 years or whatever.
About 15.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Certain properties and stuff should rest. I don't feel they should bring them back. Overall, most of them are a few years too late, I would say. Even Top Gun Maverick, I was like, really, they're gonna do a sequel to it, after so many years. But again, that one paid out. So yeah, it's a gamble. Sometimes it's like sometimes it just works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the times it doesn't. Yeah, that's kind of my answer to it. Yeah, certain things are great if they bring them back. Certain things I just wish they would just leave it behind because of the current climate and agenda and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Carlos?
I agree with what Jeff says. It's a huge gamble. Nostalgia, retro. Top Gun. I mean, I've yet to see Top Gun Maverick. I've got to be honest, but I can see why that was successful. I mean, Tom Cruise has always looked after himself. He's always been in shape. He still kind of looks still got the looks as he did in the first movie, so that kind of sort of blends well. And plus the technology that they would use for those kind of sort of aerial scenes, I think it kind of fits to do a sequel. But on the flip side, I think some sequels you got to really admit that time's just passed. I mean, the lethal weapon one. I mean, Danny Glover, he's got to be late 70s or even maybe even touching near 80. I mean, as much as I want to sort of enjoy that, I think they're too old. I mean, what are they going to be? Sort of chasing villains down, in a wheelchair.
Would you say that there are?
Yeah.
Would you say that they're too old for this shit, Carlos?
Oh.
I mean, you just know that they're going to
Sorry.
be using. Yeah, I mean, you just know that they're going to be using that line. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe Danny Glover in the third and fourth movie, he was too old for.
He actually was 40 when he did the first film, and he was already saying he was too old for it.
Yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't think they've got enough hair dye or polyfiller to fill in the cracks of his skin. But I mean, but like, as much as I love the movies, I think it's probably a bridge too far for those ones. I mean, Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's been around for 30, 40 years, and from the first movie to the fourth movie, he's probably only gained, a stone and a half max or stone. He still looks quite lean. So I think he could pass it. He can still carry the role. I mean, a couple of examples you said there with Rambo, Stallone coming back 20 years later for another Rambo movie. Yeah, I mean, those guys can do it, but then certain actors and actresses and maybe storylines, it's too far gone. It really, really is. I want to believe that they can do it because I love those movies before, but I think there's more chance of it kind of failing and being kind of more of a disaster on the flop. And also, you've got to remember, have these movies got the kind of pull for the new generation audience? It's a difficult bridge to cross, that one. Like with Beverly Hills Cop, are they going to find Eddie Murphy funny? I mean, Eddie Murphy in the 80s was hilarious. Is he still that funny now? Somewhat 30, 40 years later. I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Let's have a look. Next comment. Where is it? There it is. No, hang on. There we go. Is Sting any good? It's that horror creature film with a spider. Can't wait to see it on streaming. Nope, that can go and fuck right off.
Haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I can't stand spiders. I read the synopsis of it, and I was like, that's going to be a big bag of Nope with more Nope on the side and Nope in a glass as well. It basically burn it with fire. I can't fucking stand spiders. I hate them. Jen loves them. She absolutely loves them.
I don't mind them.
Freedom, but
yeah.
Well, I was just like, ooh, no, no.
I have zero issues with spiders.
Oh no, she even put on arachnophobia on Laserdisc, and I literally shit myself. I was like, no, that's going to be a film, Sting. I'm just going to give it a wide berth. At first, I thought it was going to be about the wrestler. How little did I know?
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or the singer from the Police.
Yeah.
Message in a bottle, yeah.
There you go.
What do you guys think? Would you watch it or not?
I'll probably
Scott?
give it a go, to be fair, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of spiders either, but they don't absolutely terrify me. I can handle them to a certain extent. Still don't like them though, they do scare me a bit, but I think I could watch spider films alright, to be fair. I mean, arachnophobia is quite creepy though, to be fair. That did scare me quite a bit, but yeah, I'll be intrigued to watch Sting, to be fair.
Okay, Dan?
Probably not for me. I did get excited because I thought he meant the Robert Redford, Paul Newman movie, which everyone's got to watch. But yeah, probably not. I mean, Arachnophobia, I watched back in the 90s, and my sister actually wet herself watching that one. Literally wet herself because she was so scared, but we couldn't leave her. But no, I'm not the biggest fan of spiders, and them kind of creature features and insect things. Not really for me. That's my thoughts.
That's fair enough. I can understand that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? Well, I know you said you like spiders, so you'll probably be first in line to say it.
I don't mind spiders. Give me spiders over bees and wasps any day. I mean, those fucking flying stingy motherfuckers, they can fuck off. If there's ever a bee or a wasp near me, then I'll run away like a little girl, like Steven Seagal.
So you'd
But
be
spiders.
like Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. Not the bees! Not the bees!
Yeah, not the bees. God, no, not the bees. Yeah. But yeah, no, spiders. I have zero problems with spiders. Would I see this film? I mean, I haven't heard of it. I haven't seen anything, so it just depends if I check out the trailer or teaser or whatever and it looks good. I might see it. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Carlos?
Spiders, not for me. They don't really scare me, to be honest. I mean, Arachnophobia, for me, the only good thing in that movie was Jennifer Lopez. I didn't find it creepy at all, to be honest. So this movie, no, not for me. I'll just give this one a pass, I'm afraid.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I've got a feeling it's probably a film that Jen's gonna watch for certain. I know she'll go and watch it, but yeah, I won't. Ooh. I mean, I could just about watch Eight-Legged Freaks because it was a comedic one, and it was highly comical. But for some reason, I could put up with that at the cinema because it was funny. I mean, there was one bit where you've got them running down the street, like the actors, and there's a cop car in the distance going along, and the spider's got hold of it on the back. It's going, ow, 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 as it's being dragged along the road. And I found that really hilarious. But the other ones, no, definitely not. Especially Sting. Oh, no. Right, we've got the Dutch film buff. Hello.
Hello, mate.
Ramon,
Hello,
how's it going?
How you doing, mate? Hope you're good. Minajul also says, what's everyone's thoughts on Transformers 1? Looks like a fun time, but yes, also looking very much Gen Z weird, so I can understand some Barcodes fans slandering it and being disappointed. I saw the trailer. It didn't really, I don't know. I mean, yeah, as you can see, original Transformers for me, Generation 1. Didn't go a lot on the other Transformers films. The first one was okay. The sequels were pointless shit. Never watched Rise of the Beasts. Haven't seen Bumblebee. But this one, from the trailer, they shouldn't have gone with computer animation. They should have gone with hand-drawn animation for it. Gone back to the roots of the original Transformers. If that's what they were going for, don't do computer animation. For me, it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
Always thought that, you know. But yeah, probably not one that I'll see. What about yourself, Scott?
I haven't seen any Transformers films or any TV shows, so I have absolutely zero interest in this one.
That's fair enough. Dan?
For this one, no, I'll pass it, but I do like and I do own the original Transformers TV show, and I absolutely love the Michael Bay movie Transformers. I couldn't wait for that to come out. The trailer for that's a trailer done right. Back then, was it 2007? Yeah, I've got a real soft spot for that. It's probably guilty pleasure, but yeah, the sequels just got considerably worse to the point where the two ones with Mark Wahlberg in, like, physically give me a migraine, literally, because it was just noise bombardment throughout.
Yeah.
Too much. But what I will say is Bumblebee was a good return to form because it's set 80s, I think. I thought that was decent.
Mm.
So I
still
told
need
I
to
have
watch
seen
it.
that one actually. That's actually quite good. I forgot about
Mm.
Bumblebee.
I do still need to watch it, but I just, I'm in no hurry to watch it. But what about yourself, Jeff?
I haven't watched any of the live action Transformers films. I do remember one time, when I in my early teens or when I was a younger kid, I did watch the animated movie from the 80s. I do remember liking that a hell of a lot, the animated movie back in the day. But I never saw any of the live action ones. I mean, Michael Bay is a director that's sort of hit and miss for me. I mean, The Rock, great fucking film, that one. Some of the other ones, my mind's gone blank. I definitely can remember The Rock as a great one.
Game.
That's another good one. I do actually enjoy that one. Yeah. But yeah, his sort of big Transformers films, with all the explosions and the CGI and all that stuff. I've seen bits here and there on TV, flipping channels. Yeah, not up my alley, really. No, it's not for me.
No, I can agree with that. Carlos?
Could I ask how many movies have they made? Transformer movies, out of curiosity.
It seems like 5,000 of the fuckers.
Yeah.
Have they made quite a few then? Have they?
Yeah.
I think they're on 7 live action ones. Is it 7 or 8?
It's hang on, 1. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 live action. This Transformers one will be the second kind of animated movie.
Okay, I didn't know. I mean, I'm not going to upset any fans because I never really understood the appeal. I mean, I do remember the cartoon back in the day, which had a bit of sort of popularity, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the first one with I think probably it was Michael Bay who directed it. It's the one with Megan Fox was in it.
Oh yes, Megan Fox.
Yeah.
That was probably the main reason. That's probably the
another
main
reason why I won't watch it.
Yeah, why I watched it really was probably for selling point because she was in it. But like Jeff, I'm not really stuck on sort of heavy CGI movies. No, things like Godzilla and Kong. For me, it's just like watching a PS4 game. I'm not really. I want to see real people, actors. I don't want to see robots and CGI and stuff like that. That's just not for me. Yeah, not for me. Definitely a pass.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, as I've said many a time before myself, it's like with CG, if it's done with respect to like physical like effects, if it just enhances just a little bit, I've got no problem with that. But when it's CGI heavy, it's an assault on the eyes and the senses, and it's like an overload, and you just become bored and things like that. And it's just like, that's too much. You have to take a step back. I totally get what you're saying. I really do. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't really go a lot on the live action Transformers as well. Other than stupid puerile jokes like in the second one with one of the Transformers having great big swinging testicles. That was God.
I'm glad I missed that.
I wish I had as well. I wish I had. There was this bloke on Facebook, and he kept saying that the Transformers films were the best things ever. And all I said to him was, giant Transformer testicles. That's literally it. That's all I would say to derail his argument was giant Transformers testicles. And I pissed him off quite a few times by saying that.
Well, obviously he hasn't watched a lot of movies then.
Oh well, he likes Michael Bay.
Okay.
So, I mean, Michael Bay has done some cheesy but good films like The Rock, Armageddon. That's all I can think of. Oh, no, he didn't do Con Air, did he? That was Simon West.
I was thinking Con Air, but that's not him. That's not him.
Yeah, no, I think that was a Bruckheimer Simpson production.
The Bad Boys film.
The Bad Boys films. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'd like number 1. I like number 2. I've got no interest in the other ones. Or those ones. Really haven't. But no, the new Transformers, no interest. No interest whatsoever. He also says, anyone looking forward to seeing Shadow ride his motorcycle and be equipped with guns in Sonic 3? He also will become Super Shadow. All this takes inspiration from Shadow the Hedgehog on the PS2.
I never got into Sonic.
Sorry?
I never got into Sonic.
I played it on the Mega Drive. That was years ago. It's a movie.
Oh God!
I knew they made 1 movie, but 3. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. Apparently,
they are really scratching for ideas.
Well, apparently they're quite high grossing, so they must be. I mean, they must be doing something right. I mean, the first one I thought was pretty decent. The second one, you know, as I said earlier on, I couldn't get into it, but the third one, I think they should have. I don't know. I suppose if I haven't seen the second one, I can't comment on the third, like, you know, but no, like you, Carlos, I remember playing Sonic on the Mega Drive. I got it for Christmas in '91 with the actual console. I loved playing it. Oh, sorry, not '92, sorry, because we've got Sonic 2 as well.
I'm sorry, guys, but I just can't be saying, what are you doing tonight, mate? I'm just going to watch the new Sonic movie. That's going to go down well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, it'd be like, so we're still on Friday? No.
You know
what have you got planned instead? I'm watching Sonic the Hedgehog laugh.
You know what I mean? I'm going with my kids or I'm going with my nephews. Where are they? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, that's not a good look.
Yeah, no, I'll wait until it came out, and I like snuck the DVD, the Blu-ray in the basket and stuck it under some other like shopping and that, so no one saw me. It's like going into a paper shop and hiding a copy of like Pen or Razzle inside of a newspaper and go, "It's a newspaper, please, mate."
It would be, wouldn't it? It would be. It'd be just that.
Yeah.
Oh. Too many Oh, Rosie says, I'm going to use Nigel's words. I'm pissing my pants for Second Sight's The Hitcher.
I think we all are, to be fair.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. I've got the German media book. But
you know something? I received an email from Second Sight, and I quickly went into it, hoping it was going to be, because they started off the email message, 2 big major releases.
Oh.
Scrolled right down thinking, hugely disappointed. No, it's not The Hitcher. I'm not interested.
No.
When are they going to be releasing it?
Well, because I've liked the Second Sight page on Facebook, they did say originally it was meant to have been last year. Then, because of problems with I think it was problems with the print or something, they pushed it to the beginning of this year, and then something else happened, so they've had to push it back, and something else has happened, so they've had to push it back again. I don't know. I can't keep up with it myself. I really can't.
Well, a couple of months ago, I heard it was going to be June, but that looks highly unlikely.
Yeah, I did as well. But apparently, they said that the restoration's been completed. So I suppose we could be looking at June 2035, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. You know, or they'll turn around and say, right, The Hitcher is being released in, like, I don't know, let's just say 2025, and then all of a sudden, asteroid hits the day before the film's going to be released. So that'd be just our luck. It really will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All things filmed with Yam Yam. Hello there.
Mate.
Yes.
Yam Yam. How's it going, buddy?
Thanks for tuning in.
He says, "Watch you guys. Hope Yam all well." Certainly are indeed. Thank you very much for asking. Good. I just watched Deadbeat at Dawn for the first time. Had a great time with it. I'm surprised I hadn't seen it earlier. That's always intrigued me. That film. Yeah, I think
But, yeah,
Arrow released it
Yeah.
on Blu-ray. I think it was last year, maybe year before.
Hmm.
I can't remember what the hell the film's about. I really can't. But
No.
from what I saw, it did intrigue me. But I don't know. Anyone else? Scott, have you heard of it? Or
I've heard of it before, but title definitely sounds familiar, but I haven't got a clue what it's about, to be honest.
no, not one I'm
Yeah.
familiar with. Dan?
I feel like I've seen it or started watching it. I don't know if I've got it. I can't see my arrow start down in the corner, but yeah, it feels like I've started watching it and turned it off. I know
yeah,
it's
I've
a
done that.
trailer,
with
but
loads of films.
Dan, it was that good, was it?
must have been. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer, but I hope I don't own it. But
Well,
yeah.
maybe you watched the trailer and you saw 4 minutes of it and you thought, I've
You've
seen
seen the
most of the
entire
movie.
film.
Well,
I
yeah.
know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? I wish I'd have done that with the Dungeon Master in that Arrow box set, the Empire
Oh,
one.
God.
I watched the whole of that, and I was like, "What the hell have I just watched?" I just felt like
Actually,
I'm
quite
wasting my
enjoyed that
time.
film.
I honestly thought I'd wasted my time with it. I might need to watch it again because I can't remember what version it was I watched. But yeah, it was surreal. That's all I
Yeah.
say. It was just
Speaking
very.
I'll say one thing. Speaking of trailers, I wish I saw the trailer of Midsummer.
Yeah.
That might have had an effect on me. Rather than spending 3 hours watching that load of.
Oh,
Guys,
Talking
Nick, can
about-
you release send Carlos your
Yeah,
edition, your collector's
fucking
edition?
It's a
Yeah.
fucking shit film. I mean, I know people
Oh.
love that movie, but like, nah.
It don't have it for me, to be honest.
I've got no desire to watch it whatsoever. I mean, people have liked it to The Wicker Man. I got half hour into The Wicker Man, and I was like, "What the fuck
Not the
is this
bees!"
shit?" Yeah, no, the original one with Edward Woodward. I could not get into it whatsoever. People were saying, "Oh, it's one of the best films ever," and I was like, "What's
I
this
don't
bollocks?"
mind that. I don't mind it, but I think it's for me. I thought that's quite overrated. As much as I like Edward Woodward, but that's just me. I mean, you know, people say. I mean, it's a classic. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't do much for me. It's not me saying I hate the movie because it was okay, but Midsummer just really didn't. I just found it 40 minutes. They could have to an hour and 20 minutes, and I could have been fucking out the door quicker.
Yeah. Going back to the Dungeon Master though, as an absolute tune in it from Wasp Tormentor.
I've been
What was that,
waiting
Scott?
for that all evening.
There's an absolute tune in it.
Excellent. You know what you saying about Midsummer, Hereditary? What did everyone think of that? I
enjoyed that one. I
loved it. I thought it was great.
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't.
I
Go on, Dad. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I liked it until she started crawling upside down, didn't she? Towards the end of it. Yeah, that lost me. I thought there was some good bits, quite creepy. I did get annihilated in the comments by a few people saying that it's not a horror, or what would you call it then? Psychological horror. I don't know. It's still a horror to me. But yeah, I thought she was good in it. The Australian lady, forget her name.
Oh, Tony Collette, was it? Yeah, Tony Collette. Yeah,
she was good. She was good.
I thought, to be honest, I'm pretty much the same as Dan. I thought it was good up to a certain point, but as soon as the ending happened, it just completely lost me. And it's like, well, what was the other hour and God knows how many minutes was? You know, what was that all for? You know, it just didn't do nothing for me whatsoever. Really didn't. So next
It's better
one.
than
Sherman.
It's better than Midsummer.
Oh, definitely, I agree.
I got to squeeze that one in. Sorry.
Hereditary.
Oh, sorry, I stole Jeff's thunder there. Go on, Jeff, do it again. Sorry. Oh. We got to have one of Jeff's impressions. You got to.
Yeah, they're
all
great.
things, yeah, you have to. It's not a live stream without his impressions.
Absolutely.
All things film with Yam says, I've actually never seen a DC or Marvel Universe film, but I'm not a big superhero fan, even though I've only seen Daredevil, Elektra, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Nick Nolte's Hulk, and Suicide Squad 1. Don't think never seen Daredevil, never seen Elektra, Fantastic Four. Rest of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the first Spider-Man film was great with Tobey Maguire. Second one was all right. Third one just lost me.
I even love the
Nick
third
Nolte's
one,
Hulk's the one I'm
believe it
thinking
or
of.
not.
That's the one. Sorry?
I said I even love the third one, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I do. Well,
Yeah.
I couldn't get on with it for some reason. I might have to go back to it, but I just couldn't get on with it. Nick Nolte's Hulk, is that the one with Eric Banner? Yeah, Eric Banner was.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Edward Norton was the second one, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Suicide Squad 1. Yeah, I couldn't get on with the Suicide Squad films.
Only watch
Margot
Robbie for me.
I think for me the marketing and the constant bombardment killed my interest in that film, because I was like, first of all, I'll watch it, and then the constant posts on Facebook and the constant trailers and that, and I was just like, no, it's just killed it. That's stone dead for me. I didn't even want to watch the second one. I think I watched like the first 20 minutes, turned it over. I think I put Terminator on or something.
Was it Terminator 2?
Yeah, yes, an instantly better choice all round, I do feel. Minaj says Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Blade, and Fantastic Four are all scheduled for next year, 2025. Oh, more Marvel stuff.
I agree.
Now. As you said, Carlos, they need to give it at least 10 years. Just
at
stop
least
it. Yeah, just stop it. Maybe come back with Blade. Maybe come back with a new Blade film.
It's just sheer overload. It really is. I mean, my two 14-year-old nephews. I mean, they love the Marvel movies, and even they get it. The latest ones, that they've watched. I said, oh, what was that movie like? What was that one like? Nah, not as good as the previous ones. And if they can see it, and that's the targeted audience, then that really says it all. I mean, as Marvel and DC movies go, I enjoyed the first Superman movies, and then when all these new Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the first one or two movies, but I think it reached its peak when it done, the Justice League, the Avengers, and that's it. You're not gonna do it better than that. And they just keep going further and further. Movies about the villains, and it's just sheer overload. It really is. It's too much.
Definitely. I've always thought that they should have just called it a day after Endgame. That wrapped things up really nicely.
Well,
especially with like the overarching thing of like the glowy cubey Christmas ornament thing, and having like the Infinity Gauntlet and that. But I think, as I said earlier, I think they're just making them for the sake of making them, just so they think, oh, that's all right, we'll bring in more money. But people will end up getting fatigued of it and go, "No, sod that. I'm not going to the cinema to watch that."
Yeah. Well, Disney's declining itself, isn't it? Their streaming platforms took a massive hit. I get that it's a business, but I think that's another reason they're turning back to physical media to try and recoup something.
Yeah. Well, I got rid of Disney last year. I got rid of Netflix last year. I got rid of Prime at the beginning of the year, and now I only go for the free trials and that. Mainly because the prices are basically not representing value. I mean, especially with the things of like adding adverts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As soon as they said, "Oh,
£18.
if you don't want ad," sorry,
£18 for Netflix now.
Yeah, sod that.
Gone up. Shit.
Yeah.
Sod that. I mean, for that, you can probably go out and get 18 DVDs, £1 each.
Yeah.
And you've got a load of stuff to watch there, you know.
Yeah.
Or even if you spent that on like a TV series box set, let's just say, I don't know, off the top of your head, On the Buses, you'll have the whole series of On the Buses. And you can watch that until, I don't know, it falls out your arsehole.
Yeah.
You know. And it won't get taken off you.
Indeed, yeah.
So, but I think that's another thing for another day with streaming and physical media, and there's a fly in here. Bastard things.
No, it's a spider.
Sorry?
It's a spider.
Oh, fuck off, you bastard. Oh. Right. Yam Yam says, I'd like to film these days to go back to the 70s, 80s, 90s. Work to bugger off and stop ruining our fun, and get the BBFC to be run by true film fans like us and have films all uncut and stop CGI.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
I think we should get all the movie fans sign a fucking petition and just send it to Disney and Hollywood and all the movie companies and everything.
I think the movie companies won't listen though. I don't think they'll listen though. If the movie's coming in. If the money's coming, not the movies. What am I talking about? It's this drink. It's affecting me already. If the money's still coming in, they're not gonna, you know. I mean, going off of topic onto modern games and that. I heard that Ubisoft, the CEO of Ubisoft, said you're not going to own. So many words. You're not going to own your game purchases, and you're going to like it. You're going to get used to it. And the amount of people that I've seen turn around and say, well, in that case, then you can stuff your new Star Wars game. And I've seen people need to vote with their wallets like that. You know, it's stupid. But that's a discussion for another time as well. Right. Nigel says, now I'll tell a good example of a trailer. That trailer would be Alien Romulus. That's how you do a trailer or teaser, leaving you wanting more, but obviously we don't want spoilers. Yeah, that's true, actually. That trailer, actually, as soon as it started, as soon as I saw the first few sequences, it hooked me. And I was like, that's quite interesting. It didn't show a lot. It showed just enough to whet the appetite.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. I'm curious now because I haven't seen the new Alien movie trailer. So, okay. It's just a brief teaser. It's a brief teaser.
It's about a minute long.
I think so, yeah. And the thing is, the film's directed by the guy who done the 2013 Evil Dead film.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, I've only seen that film once. I liked it. I do need to go back and watch it, so I've got high hopes for it.
Okay.
I think he directed Don't Breathe as well, didn't he, if I remember correctly, which is a great horror film as well.
What one was that, sorry?
Don't Breathe. I think he directed that one as well, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good, I enjoyed that one.
I haven't seen it for years, so it's another one I think I'll have to go back to at some point. All things filmed with Yam Yam. I miss classic action trailers that go like, coming soon to your screens will be the most intense thriller of the last decade. Explosions, guns, babes starring, etc. And didn't show too much.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's another thing with trailers as well, is that it always says from the director of, or from the studio that brought you so and so. It's like, shouldn't just say, let's just say Warner Brothers brings you, or Warner Brothers presents. Why does it have to be from the studio? It's an overused line. I mean, it's probably just me thinking that, but it's just overused, surely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fucking trailers, modern trailers, that is. So I can't wait for this new Alien. Oh, sorry, Minaj says, so I can't wait for this new Alien film directed by Fede Alvarez. If you've seen, funny enough, that's what I was just saying. That's what I was just saying. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely brutal.
Indeed.
He also says, call me an idiot, but I would rather have it be a rehash of the first 3 Alien films, which it seems to be the case in the teaser, than flop, if that makes sense.
The first 2. Replace 3 with 2, and
See, I did like the third one because it went back to kind of the sensibilities of the first one, where it just takes place in, I don't know, a very... I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no weapons. I mean, in the first one, I think they were supposed to have proper guns, but they didn't. All they had was a flamethrower and a Eddie's cattle prod.
But
it didn't make them shit themselves. But yeah, that's what I mean. The third one just went back to basics, and it was nihilistic in tone, and there was hopelessness and that. And I think people were expecting it to be more like Aliens. And when it wasn't, and they wanted Newt and Hicks to survive,
that's
they
what
were
people
like,
wanted.
You know. But I think taking them out of the film at the very beginning was brave and bold to do that. 2 well-loved characters, they're gone inside of the first 30 seconds. You know, and then
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I think the assembly cut was much better, but that's just me. I mean, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but
I mean, it's the same reason why I absolutely can't stand Terminator Dark Fate, because it did the same thing in the first 5 minutes of that film. I saw that film in cinema. I wanted to walk out, but I stayed in there, stuck with it. But I absolutely fucking hate that film. Not as bad, or Alien 3 isn't as bad as that in that regard for me. Still a real pain in the ass, or a real, sort of big critique that I have with the film is that they did that they made that choice. But Terminator Dark Fate was worse in that regard. But
What about yourself, Dan? What do you think? Have you seen Alien 3 or any of the cuts or different cuts? Or
Alien 3 completely bores me. I really only I love the first 2, completely different kind of films. Couldn't really pick between them, depends on the mood. But 3, but it completely bored me when we rented it on VHS. Didn't own it, of course, because it's part of the fantastic box set. Even trying to watch it again on Blu-ray, got through it, but it does nothing for me. And I think for me, I only need the first 2. Don't need any more than that.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah, no, that's completely fair enough. I mean, Free's got his fans, Free's got his haters. You know, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. You either love it or you hate it. It's like a Marmite movie. Someone said you either love it or you hate it. So that's completely fair. That's completely fair. What about yourself, Scott?
Love the first 2. Second one's my favourite, in all honesty, but the first one's fantastic as well. Alien 3, it's okay. I can't remember too much about it, but it was a bit boring in parts, to be fair. It didn't grip me as much as the first 2, that's for sure. And Alien Resurrection, it's entertaining in parts, but it is fucking shit as well. It is such a bad film. It's so bad. But
I do
yeah,
enjoy
first two do it
Resurrection.
for me.
Yeah.
Carlos?
I do own all the Alien movies, bar. I
Same.
actually did watch Alien 3 in the cinema on the back of how much I really enjoyed the second one, watching that on VHS, and I thought for me it's by far the best one in my opinion. So I kind of went into I'm going to watch Alien 3 at the cinema. I don't want to miss this, and I was kind of somewhat disappointed. And I actually can't remember if I've actually seen it since. I know I've seen Resurrection and Prometheus, and I kind of agree with what Dan says. I mean, it hasn't really, since the second movie, there's never really been another great Alien movie. I share that opinion with Dan. It's they've tried, they've huffed and puffed, but they've not really had a sort of big sort of Alien movie since the second one. I know it's going to be tough to do. I mean, the other ones were nothing really special. So, that it does kind of make me hope and want for a decent one for the new one. We'll have to just wait and see. Because as a kind of series of movies or franchise, whatever you want to call it, it literally has kind of died out a little bit. The Alien movies, they try to sort of go backwards, and now they're going to do a different timeline. It's kind of like, is it a series and a franchise where it's kind of washed up and done and dusted? I think there's a lot riding on this new one. I think.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I can understand that. I mean, for me, I hated Resurrection. Absolutely hated it. Detested it with a fucking passion. That the alien queen at the end just having lady parts and then giving birth to that fucking monstrosity. I don't know. Oh my word.
Yeah, that was bad.
I didn't know whether to just turn it off or do like Eddie from Bottom and put my foot through the TV. I was just like, oh.
But the thing is, Mike, this is Hollywood. Hollywood's scratching for ideas, and like
true.
We don't seem to sort of like, it's like reading a book, start, middle, end, and they can't seem to do that with a series of movies or a franchise of movies, whatever you want to call it. There's got to be a start, sort of middle, and an ending to it. But it's like, when have we had a load of movies where it's kind of finished, everyone's happy with the ending, and it's done and dusted, and you just put those movies away? But no, they just keep doing it. And the likelihood is that a movie franchise or series always ends poorly. Indiana Jones. The Rocky movies, they're not really. The Terminator movies, how they've really gone. It's like they don't know what to do with it, so it just kind of sizzles away, really, in sort of in a lot of disgust to the fans, really.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I just want to say.
I
just want to say on what Carlos said about the Rocky film. The Rocky films ended perfectly. The Creed films, on the other hand, that's a different story.
Rocky 6. Rocky 6 is one of the most emotionally charged films for me. I get upset every time I watch that. I love that's perfect. That's another great example of a sequel done many years after that works.
16 years for that one.
Yeah. I remember buying the DVD for that. Didn't see it in the cinema. I just bought it because it was Rocky. And when I got it back, put the disc in, and from start to finish, it had my attention, and I absolutely loved it. really good. And as you said, Dan, it's an example of a sequel done many years later, but they progress the character. So it's like it tells you everything that he's done in the years since Rocky V in just a few scenes and what's happened. So you catch up quite quickly, and it's done perfectly. It's brilliant. I can't wait for that to come out in 4K with the director's cut. I'll be picking that up for certain.
I'm curious about the
direction.
So Dan?
I said you grow up watching from a kid Rocky, and you grow with that character, and you could feel his pain in number 6. You could feel his pain whenever he had loss throughout them films, whether it was Mick, Apollo, Rocky Balboa. For me, like, I mean, really sad. I think it's an amazing film, number 6.
It is.
It's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, especially when he's regaling the patrons of his restaurant with like the stories of his like heyday and that and stuff like that. You can see like there's a twinkle in his eye that he wants to go back to that. He wants to try and relive it, and it makes you feel for him. Really does.
And I pushed him into the corner, and I gave him everything I had. Hook, left. But Greedy kept coming back pretty good, and he was going to pile up. And then I heard the best sound I ever heard in my life. Ding! The bell. That's right, the bell. And I go back into the corner, and I have Mickey leaning in my ear saying, "Come on, bum, you gotta go fight this guy hard. You gotta be first. I say, yo, Mick, if I could, I would." I love that scene.
Go on, Jeff.
Well done, Jeff.
Excellent.
And he done that without his boxing robe.
Yeah.
Want me to get the gloves?
He's going to start throwing punches in a minute.
Hold on.
It's
There
me,
you are.
oh yeah, for Tiger, it's for Thriller, for fighting.
Go on, Scott.
There we go. The gloves.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Excellent. I really fancy watching the Rocky films now. I really do.
I do.
What's really great as well is because you're 27, Jeff, and you're 22, Scott. It's nice to see people who love their movies at that age, because that's very much of Carlos's generation and mine, and obviously your generation, Mike. And I know no one else of your kind of age who I haven't met through YouTube who actually would give the Rocky films a time of day. Them old action films. They watch
awesome.
Creed, but they won't watch Rocky.
Missing out, they are.
They really are.
I tell you,
really are.
I tell you what, I mean, in some of the gyms that I trained, when that Eye of the Tiger tune comes on, everybody's just turbocharged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just turbocharged. Forget that fucking shit that they play on the radio stations. You know, I mean, the gym that I used to train, we used to play like we used to bring our own sort of playlists and movie soundtracks, and you know, when the Rocky IV soundtrack used to come on, everybody tunnel visioned and used to go for it. You know,
Great. I used to break now.
I used to do exactly the same thing when I used to go to the gym. I had my headphones on, my phone on the actual treadmill. As soon as the Rocky soundtrack came on, I just literally made the treadmill run faster, and I'd run my heart out. And afterwards, I'd be like, "I'm not doing that again. Fuck that."
Same. Whenever I do any exercise, whenever I do anything in the gym or whatever, I always have a Rocky playlist. Always play Rocky music.
And the funny thing is, the movie soundtracks, they were so good. You know,
They were.
The movie soundtracks in the last 10, 20 years. If they're that good, I want to know. If they're that good, I want to know about them.
Funnily enough, that brings us on to a question. I'll do the rest of the comments in a minute. Brings me up to a question, actually, about the movie scores of today. Hang on a minute, let's get sorted out here. I've got all cables all tangled up everywhere. It's like fucking jungle in here. Do you think?
Don't do what Dan did with cable.
What's that?
He went fucking flying.
Oh, I better not do that. My nephew's PS5's on the floor, and if I go flying, I'm going to go flying into it.
Yeah.
And then I won't be
actually,
popular with him.
Dan actually performed a stunt while we were live once, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah. I fell over my desk.
Oh no! The question is, the movie scores of today. Do you think that they have no identity, unlike the scores of, say, like, I don't know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, even the 80s and the 90s? Where they had a proper theme and a score built around that theme, like I don't know, like let's just say Terminator or Red Heat, or even. I'm going to go with one of my favourite ones, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. There was a central theme, and the score was built around that. And every single part of the score it made you listen to it, and it drew you in. Another one like Life Force, Henry Mancini. Yeah. Every single track drew you in, and you became invested in it, and it had a central theme. Movie scores today, I think, are too generic. They all sound similar, especially, again, going back to the Marvel films. They all sound exactly the same. But what do you guys think? I mean, start off with Scott. What do you think?
Yeah, they're definitely not as good as they used to be, that's for sure. Of course, there are ones that stand out more than others. I remember the Oppenheimer score being quite good, for what I remember. Doing part 2, I thought was quite good music in that as well, but there hasn't really been anything that memorable for years, to be honest. The last really memorable soundtrack that I could think of was probably Dragon of Bruce Lee's story, and that's like 31 years old. So, and that soundtrack is fucking great. To be fair, it's really underrated.
Soundtracks now, I have to exclude Tarantino because he picks well-known songs which work for his film, but soundtracks, for instance, I have on my Spotify of more recent years is Drive. They are songs made up of other artists, though. Guest, which is a really good film as well. It's got a good soundtrack, but again made up from other artists. Another one I particularly like is from the film Turbo Kid. That's a good soundtrack if you're into your synth music. But no, as in terms of like, even yesterday I was listening to the Running Man soundtrack. That's how good a soundtrack could be from not necessarily a film associated with a soundtrack, but now it's everyone, like as you said earlier, Mike, even in the trailers, everyone's influenced by the Hans Zimmer effect, that droning noise, as you might have said it, Jeff, and then it fades to black. That started with, I think, The Dark Knight with the Joker. They got to have that kind of psychotic feel, drony music. But no, I wouldn't really buy a soundtrack now. There's nothing that jumps out other than them ones.
There is one that I thought of recently I do actually really like. It's the Axl Ridge soundtrack. Completely forgot about that one, but that music in that is fucking beautiful, to be fair. I like that score a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What do you reckon, Jeff?
Yeah, the soundtracks definitely aren't what they used to be, that's for sure. I can name you 10, 20 soundtracks from like 80s or 70s movies that I absolutely freaking love. I mean, including what we just talked about, the Rocky films. They all have a fantastic soundtrack and stuff. Nowadays, actually, the modern films, Tarantino is the only one that for me has great music in his films that really stand out to me anyway. I mean, I'm just looking over there as my CD collection. I own every one of Tarantino's soundtracks on CD. And his latest one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I mean, I never even heard half of the stuff that was on there before. I absolutely freaking love every song on there now. he always just for some reason manages to choose just the right song for the right scenes, even if they already were pre-existed. They're not original sort of songs or whatever, but he can really pick fantastic songs. So yeah, from modern soundtrack, it's definitely Tarantino for me that really sticks head and shoulders above the rest of all kinds of movies with soundtracks. And in regards to me wanting to actually own the soundtrack on CD, because I own tons of soundtracks from 80s and 90s movies and stuff like that. But the only modern ones, definitely Tarantino film soundtracks. Other than that, yeah, I do agree with what Dan said. I mean, a lot of composers and stuff seem to be influenced by Hans Zimmer and that sort of sound and that deep bass sort of thing. Yeah, it's a shame we lost the greatest composer ever, Ennio Morricone, because he was still cracking out fantastic scores in the last few years. I mean, he won an Oscar for Hateful Eight. I mean, that was an original soundtrack. Speaking of Tarantino,
That was a good score as well.
Yeah, and anything Morricone, even from the last 20 years, I will still listen to because obviously it's the maestro. But other than that, the living composers at the moment and with films at the moment, yeah, there's not really much fantastic / great soundtracks out there for me.
No, I agree with that. What do you reckon, Carlos?
I'm going to sound really old school here because I could always remember in the 80s and 90s when there was kind of where you'd get a certain track or a theme song, and that would kind of make for the movie, in regards to like the Top Gun, Take My Breath Away, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. I mean, these tracks, The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston, you'd had a sort of hit single or a partial hit single, and that would make the movie, and people would go flocking to see the movie. And I mean,
I know your favorites. I know your favorite, Carlos.
Fucking Dirty Dancing.
No, Brian Adams. Brian Adams. Everything I Do.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. That one. I mean, fucking hell. But the thing is, obviously it was made for a movie. Obviously you're seeing the clips of the movie in the video as well. And I think that adds to it. That kind of brings attention to people that there's a movie with this song. And I think that adds to the box office appeal. I think nowadays it doesn't so matter. It doesn't so much matter so much, and the quality of some of the soundtracks are not that good. I mean, I still say one of my favourite movie soundtracks was the Beverly Hills Cop, where I could literally go through all the tracks without forwarding it. So that says something. And I think in those times, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it was vital that if you got a hit tune or track or whatever, and it was known out there, it would kind of really sell the movie a whole lot more. It just kind of looks like these days it doesn't matter so much, and they just literally put anything on the soundtrack. I mean, I can't remember the last time I picked up a movie soundtrack for a movie from the year 2000. A lot of my soundtracks are from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So that's the quality. I think it's well diminished.
I agree.
I have to agree with that. I really do. I mean, many of my soundtracks, I think the only newest one I got was Blade Runner 2049, but it was a Kickstarter, and it's like get it signed and that, and it's still sealed, and it was like a two disc affair, and I don't even know how much that goes for now, but I mean, it's like the majority of my soundtracks are from 70s, 80s, some of the 90s. I mean, I think other than that Blade Runner one, I think the only later one I've got is Looney Tunes Back in Action with by Jerry Goldsmith and what's his name? The one who John Debney, I think it is. He had to do some of the tracks because Goldsmith was ill with cancer, so he couldn't do the whole soundtrack. I've got Gremlins. I think I've got Logan's Run. You know, all better soundtracks than what we've got now. It's just too generic, and it's just like, just doesn't grip you as much as they used to.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, a soundtrack is where you can literally play the whole album. I think, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be the odd sort of movie soundtrack where they might have one or two decent tracks, but that's it. But you know, the decades that I've mentioned, I think the quality of the movie soundtracks was evident. You know, I just don't see the quality there. You know, because you know, I do have movie soundtracks, and like, you know, I don't say it's an essential part of my physical media collection, but I mean, if there is a really good one,
just one.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got the Lost Boys soundtrack, and I think the only Duff track on there is where they're at the fairground, and you've got that organ music playing in the background. That's the only bad track on there, and I've deleted that off my hard drive, but I've kept the rest. Especially Roger Daltrey's version of "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." It's brilliant cover version of the song. But the whole album is great, apart from just that one fairground track. But you listen to the whole lot, and it's the same with the Rocky films. You know, especially Rocky 4. You listen to the whole lot.
My favourite soundtrack of all time, probably.
It's definitely up there for me as well. Yeah.
Oh, it's easily one of my most one of my most played ones. Rocky 4.
Yeah.
I think most people would sort of.
Eye of the Tiger, Hearts on Fire, Burning Hearts, No Easy Way Out, Living in America.
Sweetest Victory as well.
Training Montage by Vince Cola.
Yeah. Very, very good soundtrack. I think that, and I'd say Top Gun near enough as well.
Yeah,
would probably be another.
Top Gun's decent.
Yeah.
Cobra is another one of my favorites.
Yeah, I enjoy that one as well. Yeah.
Yes, especially the first track on the CD. What is it?
Voice of America.
Voice of America. That's it. Yeah, I love that song.
John Cafferty and the Beaver Band. Yeah.
It's a brilliant song. Brilliant song.
Is good as well.
Which one?
Over
the Top.
Oh yeah, Over the Top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet me halfway.
I still need to try and get that soundtrack, but it's impossible to source it at a cheap price. It's like people want you to pay through the arse for it, and I'm like, nah.
Oh really?
No, thanks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, from what I've seen, but that was a while ago. So
I was gonna say I've got it on CD. I think I got that for a tenner. Not too long, or 2-3 years ago. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll have to have another look, because it was a while ago that I looked, so it might have dropped in price. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see. Let's go back to the comments quickly. Minaju says, "I feel like every official trailer, which tends to be the second trailer, ends up revealing the money shots, and all reveals, especially I'm excited, get worried. New trailer for Deadpool, all cameos." Yeah. All things film. Yam says, "I'm really looking forward to Terrifier 3. I've not seen the other ones, but I did see one particular kill, and that was in the bedroom from number 2. And I was like, oh,
it is brutal.
Oh, and I just haven't. I think I've got to psych myself up to watch the Terrifier films."
It's hard watch. Good films, but a hard watch. I turned off the second one when I put it on, and then I went back to it. It's too long for my liking, but it's good. But it is really sick. I mean, we reviewed a grim film today, but Terrifier is really up there.
Najee says, "How does everyone feel about Avatar 3 coming out in 2025 and it's confirmed?" Not that bothered.
Haven't even seen the first two.
I've not even seen the first one.
First one, all I remember is basically overgrown Smurfs and Sigourney Weaver. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, I was just waiting for Gargamel to keep jumping out every
I've
5
got to
minutes,
be-
but I was disappointed when he didn't.
I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't like the. I just didn't like the look of them, and then I said no. I ain't watching that. Sorry.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't even remember half of it. So you're not missing much. He also says, when do you think we will get Scream 7, Mortal Kombat 2, and Beyond the Spider-Verse? The new Spider-Verse film states to be confirmed, sadly pending. Scream 7. I haven't seen past Scream 4, so I can't really comment. Mortal Kombat 2. I haven't seen the more recent Mortal Kombat film, so I can't comment on that. I haven't seen the second Spider-Verse film, mainly because of Marvel fatigue, so I'm not really all that fussed about that. But what does everyone else think? Scott, start with you.
I do like all the Scream films, to be fair. I think they're all really solid. As for when I get released, probably next year or year after, possibly. Mortal Kombat 2, probably about the same, and Beyond Spider-Verse probably be about the same as well, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Dan?
Scream, after Scream 3, I've lost interest in them. I think I watched 4, it might have been, that just put me off. I do really like the first 2. The Mortal Kombat film that come out during when everything was shut down was unfortunate, because it is actually a pretty good video game adaptation. It's not as good as the 95 version, but it's good. So I'd hope that second one they pace themselves on and make it even better and release it at the cinema. Not that I'll go and see it at the cinema. But yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse, they're them animated ones, aren't they? Miles Teller, I think. Yeah. My nephews watch them. I mean, they look spectacular, the animation, but there's just something I couldn't get into with them. So, don't really know. But just pace yourself with Mortal Kombat 2. Don't rush it. Get the casting right. I still say that they should have always got Cynthia Rothrock, which they was hoping to, for Sonya Blade, and Van Damme.
Yes.
Van Damme as Johnny Cage, but they couldn't afford either, could they, back in the day?
No.
That's a shame. That would have been awesome. That would have been so good.
They nicked Cynthia Rothrock's Scorpion kick still, though, for Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. I really would. What do you reckon, Jeff?
I do like the Scream films. I do think they're slightly overhyped. I don't really get the massive appeal that it has from people, but I do like them. I don't mind them or anything, or don't hate them or anything. I do like them a lot. Scream. I am similar to Dan, or I think it was you, Mike, who said it. I've seen up until the 4th one. I still haven't seen 5 and 6. I still have to watch those, to be fair. But I do like the rest that I have seen, the first 4. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Scream 7 when it comes out. Maybe I'll watch 6 or 5, 6, and then 7. I can watch all 3 of them. As for Mortal Kombat 2, I haven't seen the most recent one. I've only seen the 90s one, and sadly Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So yeah, maybe when that comes out, I can catch up on the first one as well. Especially now that Dan has said it's actually pretty decent. And Spider-Verse, well, yeah. Should I answer that one?
Oh, it's all right. The cat's just burped and it smells of fish. Oh, fucking hell. Jeez. What bloody are you eating, cat? It's all right. That's all right. It's one of my mum's kittens she got just before Christmas, like little white one.
Was it sardines or mackerel?
Sorry?
Sardines or mackerel?
Oh, I don't know. It's fucking disgusting. Bloody hell. You can stay over there. Right, anyway, sorry. Right. I forgot where I am now. Carlos, what do you think?
Scream movies. I enjoyed the first 2. I actually recently did sort of pick up a box set, because I do need to revisit those. I mean, I am surprised that there is a kind of demand for the Scream series. I mean, I knew they'd made 4 or 5, but I didn't know it'd gone up to 7.
Yeah.
Again, I do wish they just kind of end these kind of cap off these series and these franchise of movies. I mean, 7. I mean, how long is this one going to go on for? I mean, I enjoyed the first 2. I mean, Mortal Kombat. I enjoyed playing the game back in the day, but the movies, I haven't got much of an interest, if I'm really honest. And more Spider-Man. The animation, no, I don't really do it for me. I do enjoy the movies, but the animation, not for me. I'm afraid.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, with me, as I said earlier on, I've only seen up to Scream 4, and I think they should have just stopped at 3. It would have been better as just a trilogy and just completely stop. I mean, I haven't even seen the TV series. I've just got no interest in it whatsoever.
They've done a TV series.
Oh, I didn't know
Apparently,
that.
yeah, they did the TV series of it as well, but I don't know. I don't know what it was about. I don't know, if it was the brothers, sisters, aunt's dog was the killer. I don't know, but or it might have been a goldfish. I don't know, but no.
I mean, that's the thing about the Scream movies. I mean, you could make 50 movies of it, and they could all be different killers. I just get the impression that movie's just going to go on and on and on.
Well, it is a different killer every time, isn't it? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Another 3 decades of it. I mean, really?
Oh, bloody hell! I hope not.
Can sort of make up. Well, it's going that way.
It does seem like it, doesn't it? And yet we can't get a Dread sequel.
It's unbelievable. That is such a good film.
Put that one out.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't do the business at the box office because of poor marketing, it done extremely well on home video, from what I heard. And we can't get a sequel, but we get 7 Scream films. We get countless fucking Marvel films. Tom Cruise is losing bits of his body in different bleeding Mission Impossible films. It's insane, and we can't get a second Dread.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
Mike,
that'd be great.
Mike, it's your first live stream. Just let it out.
Oh,
Let it out.
oh, I have.
Just let it out.
I have.
Just let it out.
And you know what? I'm not even ashamed to say that I even like the Stallone version of Dread.
Yes! Finally,
yeah.
I met somebody who likes it. Finally.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I really do. I mean,
I do.
I like it
People like that film.
as much as, if not better than the urban version, but they're 2 different kind of Dreads for me. So I love them both, but for me, I've got a huge soft spot for the Stallone one. As soon as he steps off that bike, as soon as he I was waiting for that. I really was. As soon as he steps off the bike in the
law.
Oh man, now I really fancy watching Judge Dredd again, even though I've watched it about
your weapons.
Oh man, and I can't even believe they got what's his name, James Remar in it as like a little cameo.
In
that opening scene.
Oh, right,
yeah. That was great.
I mean, this says how much. Yeah.
Not overly funny, but it proved that he could actually act when he needed to, and it was. I loved it. I mean, and Max von Sydow and Jürgen Prochnow. What other film are we going to get with those 2 in prominent roles?
And James Earl Jones doing the voiceover at the beginning as well.
Yes, yes. As soon as the film started and as soon as he spoke, I was like, "You luscious bastard!"
In the 3rd millennium.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, I wouldn't have actually minded a sequel to that Dread back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But Minaj also says, I'm really looking forward to The Last of Us Season 2, Wednesday Season 2, One Piece Season 2, Stranger Things final season, and not much excited. We'll finish off Cobra Kai final season. Right. Last of Us, I got a couple of episodes in And while I thought it was good, I just couldn't be bothered to go on with it. Not seen Wednesday, not seen One Piece, but that's one that my two nephews across the road will probably watch. They love their anime. Stranger Things, I gave up at the beginning of season 2 because I thought it was, it just didn't draw me in. And Cobra Kai, I don't know, it just didn't gel with me. It really just didn't gel with me whatsoever. But what do you guys think? You know what? I'm going to start off with Carlos first. Go around the other way, just for a change.
Do you know what the
Nice.
Cobra Kai TV series? I recently did watch all the Karate Kid movies with my nephews because they were watching the Cobra Kai TV series and they thoroughly enjoyed it, and they said, "Oh, you got to get on that, Uncle. You'd really enjoy it." Even though I think did they finish off with 5-6 seasons, Dan, of that Cobra Kai?
I think it's season 6 coming out.
Oh,
Yeah.
another one. Oh, okay, righto. So yeah, I mean, I caught a little bit of it, and it looked okay. You know, you got some of the original characters that come in. I'd give that a go. Stranger Things, I actually did pick up the first 2 seasons, and I just never got around to watching it. And I've heard some of the reviews of it. It kind of, after a season or 2, it kind of, the quality wasn't as good. Why we haven't got a kind of major release of that in the UK? I think my 2 editions, the first 2 seasons were American editions. I don't know why such a popular TV series like that it's not out there on physical media. It is a mystery to me. The Last of Us, I've heard about that one, but I've got too many series that I'm watching at the moment. But Cobra Kai is definitely one I'd give a go. Stranger Things, eventually I will get around to watching that.
Okay, cool. Nice one. Jeff?
Yeah, out of all of them, I haven't seen Wednesday yet, but I have heard good things about it, so I might give it a watch. Actually, never heard of One Piece. Stranger Things I never got into. Same with Cobra Kai. I mean, I like the Karate Kid films, the original 80s ones. Like them, don't overly love them, not overly mad about them per se, but I do like them. So Cobra Kai is something I never got into either, but now that it's wrapping up, I might give it a watch because that's another thing with me in series. I don't usually watch them, when they're sort of happening at the moment. I usually watch them after when you can sort of binge your way through all of it. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen Cobra Kai yet. The Last of Us, though, however, it's one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time, and I absolutely loved the HBO show, the first season, and I think one can even really enjoy that even if you haven't played the game. So yeah, Last of Us is a fantastic series. However, with season 2, it's going to be interesting because they will probably follow the second game. And for those of you that are gamers and have played the second game, you know that the second one sort of had a bit of a controversy around it when it came out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how people are going to react to season 2 if they really stick to the second game. And that's all I'm going to say. I wasn't overly mad about the second game, so it's going to be interesting. But I'm looking forward to it regardless. Last for season 2, I mean, just the filmmaking behind it and how much effort they put in it to really make it true to the game and stuff. It's one of the best adaptations of a video game, and it's one of the best ways to do it in this series because they tried with movies so many times, adapting a game into a movie. I mean, it's just not the format for it. I mean, they need more time. I mean, a game can be like 10 to 20 hours nowadays, modern games. I mean, how are you going to put a 10 or 20 hour story in a movie? You need a series for that. So I think what the Last was that they really nailed it with that. So yeah, Last for season 2, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. Haven't seen the other ones, but I'm very much intrigued by Wednesday, especially since on Scott's Friday night streams, the guys are sort of talking about it a lot. I know Scott likes it. I know Keith likes it. I know Nigel really got into it. So I mean, if those guys like it, it's good enough for me. So I'm going to give it a watch for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Nice one. What about you, Dan?
So yeah, start with The Last of Us. I own that, and I will give it its due. It is good, but the reason I haven't finished it is because of watching The Walking Dead, and it was a bit too much overkill. It felt a bit similar, despite being a fan of the first video game. I just thought I need to give it a few months before I start it again. I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty spot on. Wednesday, my daughter absolutely loves it. I couldn't really get into it. Nothing wrong with it. I just wasn't feeling it. I love the old Adams Family, and I love the one with Raul Julia in and Angelica Houston. But
Oh yeah.
when we get that, I'll probably watch it. One Piece, know nothing about. Stranger Things, like you, Mike. I sort of season one, I really enjoyed. I started season two, and I just felt it got too supernatural for me. There was something still quite grounded with the first one, and it felt like it took me back almost to like a Goonies kind of vibe. And it just lost me season two. Um, what else is there? Yeah, Cobra Kai. I can't wait for. There's so much material to do spin-offs. You know, when any of you get round to watching them, spin-off, not really a film, but spin-off shows. And I absolutely love an Asian Johnny Lawrence, completely unfiltered, just say whatever he wants.
Oh, okay.
Proper manly. It's like watching a modern film with an 80s character stuck in a time capsule. Some of the things he comes out with is brilliant. He quotes films regularly like Bloodsport and Kickboxer. It's just brilliant. All them little nods. Yeah, so that's that.
Nice. Awesome. What about you, Scott?
Haven't seen The Last of Us, but first game's fantastic. It really is. It's so cool. So, and I've heard the show's actually really good, to be fair. So I will give it a watch at some point. Wednesday, it's fantastic again. So yeah, definitely want to give that a watch as well. Haven't heard of One Piece, to be honest. So don't know if I'll watch that. Stranger Things, I watched first season a couple of years ago. Thought it was good, but I didn't really have any urge to sort of like watch any of the other seasons, to be honest, but I might go back and finish it at some point. Cobra Kai is one of my favourite shows ever. I absolutely love it. I think it's so entertaining. It's just easy to binge watch as well. It's all the episodes flow really well, and yeah, it's got a lot of nostalgia in that show for me. So yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
nice one. Awesome. Right. He also says, have we heard we've got a new Evil Dead film coming out, but is this a reboot most likely, or is it a continuation of Evil Dead Rise? I've not heard nothing of that.
I've heard nothing of that. No.
No, I'm not sure.
That's completely new on me.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, all these movies, they're all like reboots, sequels. There's nothing original.
No, exactly. I mean, I did watch Evil Dead Rise, and I thought it was really good. Really good. But I think, I don't know, do we really want another one? I don't know. I really don't know.
How far are they going to go with this one?
Exactly.
It's like screaming.
Exactly.
It's like, where does it end? Where does it end?
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much, definitely. He also says, did we hear about the two Predator films, Badlands and Prey 2, have been greenlit? Have they? I didn't know nothing about them.
No, I haven't even seen Prey.
Another reboot. What's going on? Is this Reboot City or something?
You only need to watch the first one. The first one, that's it. Second one's good, but the first
one's good.
First one is the most manliest film you're ever going to see.
Slack-jawed maggots around here.
Yeah.
The stuff will make you goddamn sexual dinosaurs, just like me. Yeah.
You know something, Dan?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the first two, but I even thought Predators was okay. I'm not saying it's great.
Surprisingly,
yeah, I'm not saying it's great, but I thought it was decent enough. But I mean, the last one they did, The Predator. Fuck.
That's terrible.
I haven't seen
That,
that.
Predator.
that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. I mean,
It was.
it's got to be that. It's got to
Shit.
be. I mean, it's got to be that bad that Dan was off YouTube for about a good few years. That he
Yeah.
made his comeback on that video. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dan.
I couldn't take
You
it.
know.
Oh,
Do you know what? That film stressed me out so much. I thought I was like a nutter in my living room, thinking, "Do I pull the camera out just to do it?"
You know what? You know what? I actually watched The Predator at the cinema, and my first thought was, "It's all right. It's not too bad." I bought the Blu-ray. Same thing happened with Alien Covenant. I got about half hour in, and I thought, "No, this is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever seen in my life." And I literally kept hold of that film, and it was literally in the sell pile for years. And I just took it to CEX, and they said, "Right, £3." I thought, "Yep, fuck it, I don't care. Just get it gone. I don't want it no
You can
more."
have it for free.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what? I'll pay you to take it away. Now, for me, the only Predator films, 1 and 2. Predators was good, but not one I'd rewatch. And I did like Prey. So for me, it would be 1, 2, Prey, then 3. Predators.
Yeah, I need to watch Prey. I've not had a
I
chance to
actually
watch
quite
it.
liked it. It's quite good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I haven't
I liked
seen
it.
it.
It was
Yeah.
something different. It was something different, and that's
Yeah.
why I liked it. You know.
Yeah.
But right. He also says James Gunn has announced a Teen Titans live-action film set in his DCU.
Wonderful.
Never heard of it.
No, I've heard of the Teen Titans, but
Yeah.
again, DC, no, not for me.
Pass.
Not for me. Makes sense. This is how Blue Beetle will connect to the new universe.
Haven't seen that one either.
No.
Sorry?
I haven't, no.
Haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't either. I just, as I say, I'll just give up with them. Apparently, the reason why The Matrix Resurrection flopped and bombed so hard is because the directors, the sister, purposely made it like that so another one wouldn't be made. And funnily, here's Matrix 5. So they're going to do another one? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I've heard they're doing a Matrix 5.
I'll tell
I've
you what,
heard that. Go on, Carlos.
Is he winding us up with all these movie reboots?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know.
But hey, we got another fucking hell from Carlos. Brilliant.
Seriously, it's getting a bit, you know. I'm dreading. Do you know what? I'm actually dreading his next comment. What other movie reboot are we going to hear about? I've heard about 30. I've heard about 30 tonight. None of them I'm interested in.
I'm trying to find to see where he's. No, he says about Super Mario Brothers movie 2 and Zelda live action film for 2026. He says Adam Wingard's working on live action Thundercats, and apparently the new Evil Dead film is going to take place in a prison.
Oh,
Interesting.
So
That'd be different.
yeah,
that does sound interesting. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
that does.
Yeah.
But another Matrix film, no. The
Yeah.
first one
The
was
I
great.
wasn't even a fan of the first. I didn't
Yeah.
even get into the first.
Why don't they
Oh,
just have the Exorcist? Why don't they just have the Exorcist 3 versus the new Evil Dead movie? Fucking hell.
Yeah, or Matrix versus Evil Dead. Yeah, that'd be interesting. All things film. Yam says I'm scared of spiders too, especially those ones with tiny bodies and huge long legs that look like they're floating. They remind me of Daddy Long Legs. I'm scared of Daddy Long Legs. You know what? If they're the ones I'm thinking of, they're the little transparent, like greyish ones. And apparently, I've heard that they are poisonous, but they can't bite. Work that one out. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I just think they're comical. They lumber along like a drunk. It's hilarious. That's just me.
I think they look ugly as fuck. Daddy Long Legs could fuck right off.
Yeah. I know who this one is. She's talking about spiders. Oh, you know my thoughts. Speaking to the cute one upper left. Thank you, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Scott's Home Alone facial impression. Song request, Scott. He said, "Nice day for a white wedding."
Oh, I love that song.
It's a nice day for white wedding.
Time for cock.
Time for cock.
Well, if you insist.
No. I don't need to see that.
No,
We get the
we
live
don't.
stream
No.
taken down.
Miss Pete Playtendo guy saying, "I'll have fish and chips without the fish." Oh yeah, it's because of the cat thingy in my face earlier on. Jen also says, "I love all the Alien films, especially Alien Resurrection, which some really hate." Yes,
wow.
I do.
I have fun with it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand it. I just as soon take my disc out the back, get a gun, and just blow the disc to fucking bits. I hate the film. Great cast. Just
it's good cast, to be fair.
I mean, Ron Perlman shooting a fucking spider is comic genius.
Nigel also really likes Alien Resurrection as well. All things you film with Yam Yam says, if you could only pick one film each to own in your collection with these actors, which would you pick? Arnie, Bronson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Stallone? You bastard!
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You absolute bastard! That's a hard one, and that's what she said.
Good one. It's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna let you four answer while I think and take a sip of my alcoholic beverage.
Right. So Arnie.
Right. Oh shit! It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Terminator 2.
Yes.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, I think
Terminator
it's
2.
top 3 favourite action films ever. It is incredible.
Mm.
The effects look fantastic to this day. The acting's great. And that's a great one-liners as always in every Arnie film. It's
I need your
just so
clothes,
entertaining.
your boots, and your motorcycle.
Indeed.
Yes.
And hasta la vista, baby. What a film. Bronson, that is a tough one.
Yes, gotta pick some Charles Bronson.
I think the best film of his I've probably seen is Once Upon a Time in the West. However, in terms of entertainment, I would probably choose either Murphy's Law or Death Wish 3. I love those two films. They're so good. Jean-Claude Van Damme is really difficult. I grew up watching most of his films. And again, I think I'm torn between two. I'm going to go with either Bloodsport or Lionheart. Those two films are easily my two favourites of his. Absolutely brilliant. Stallone's an easy one for me. It's got to be Rocky 3. It's the best one for me. Absolutely love it. It's just absolute class. Be back in a minute, guys. Just got to go to the toilet quickly.
No worries, mate. Right, okay then. Dan.
Do you know, surprisingly, Stallone's the hardest one for me in this. I'm going to go Rocky 4. Yeah, definitely the hardest one to pick from. Van Damme would be Kickboxer. Bronson, Once Upon a Time in the West. None of these are easy. And Arnie, Predator. Obviously, it's my number one film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for me, it's hard. Arnie definitely. Terminator 2. Definitely. It's my favorite. It's my favorite action movie of all time. So it's got to be T2. For Bronson, yeah, again, entertainment-wise, I probably would say also Death Wish 3 and stuff, but it's got to be Once Upon a Time in the West as it's my second favorite movie of all time. Van Damme, it's a toss-up between Bloodsport and Kickboxer for me. And I would probably more at the moment towards kickboxer, but it really depends on which day you ask me which one is my favorite. I mean, it's always flip-flopping between kickboxer and bloodsport for me. At the moment, I would say kickboxer. Yes, Stallone. Ooh, I mean, there's Rambo, there's Demolition Man, there's Cobra. Fuck me, but I gotta go with Rocky 1, the original. If I could only keep one, it would be the original Rocky for me.
Go on, Carlos. Your turn.
These are quite simple for me. My number ones. Arnie, got to be Terminator. I've always said, why did they not go with Arnie as the bad guy for another movie? It was just menacing. Terminator for me, for Arnie. Bronson, Once Upon a Time in the West. Van Damme would be Double Impact. That's one I always enjoyed. In fact, my first Van Damme movie that I'd ever watched in the cinema. I'd only ever watched two on the big screen. So yeah, Double Impact. Stallone would be First Blood. I always preferred the John Rambo character slightly over the Rocky character for me.
Nothing is over. Nothing.
It's a hard question.
It was like the perfect sort of Green Beret kind of army action guy.
It is the quintessential 80s action movie. If we didn't have Rambo, we wouldn't have had Commando and all.
Exactly. It kicked off that whole kind of thing, especially with listening action as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
We wouldn't have had them. So, right, mine then. I'm going to have to agree with Carlos for the Arnie one, Terminator, because it's basically, even though Arnie was in Conan the Barbarian, it was the film that literally said that Schwarzenegger is here.
Yeah.
So it's dirty, it's gritty, it's guerrilla filmmaking, and it's something that the other Terminator sequels, not including number 2, because that's a different entity altogether, but the other ones should have gone back to. It should have been dirty, grimy, gritty, low budget to recapture the essence of what the Terminator was.
Yeah.
So that's why the first one will always be the best one for me. Bronson, I'm going to go against the grain and say The Great Escape.
Oh, great film.
I like it. Yeah, like it. Good choice.
Yeah, because his character was a little bit flawed in it. When he was in the tunnel and it collapsed, he started to get claustrophobia.
Which he actually suffered from in real life. He actually was claustrophobic. Yeah.
Exactly. So it played on that, and it gives the character depth. I mean, I could have gone with like Death Wish 3 or 4 or Murphy's Law or 10 to Midnight, but I just think that
we love 10 to Midnight.
While I do like those films, they're great films. Don't get me wrong, they're great films, but I think that his character in The Great Escape is more human. So that's why I'll go with. That's why I'll go with that one. Van Damme will have to come back to in a minute, but Stallone again. I've got to agree with Carlos. First Blood. It's the ultimate. It's not an action film for me per se. It's more of a.
It is more of a drama. Yeah.
A
character piece.
Yeah. It's a look at what someone goes through with PTSD, how they're suffering and things like that. And for me, that's interesting. It's a flawed character. And it's, for me, one of Stallone's best roles, especially the speech at the end. You do feel for him. Your heart goes out to him and you just think, fuck, man, what your character would have gone through in Vietnam, it's unfathomable. And I felt for him. I really did.
Yeah.
For Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's a hard choice. It's either out of Bloodsport, Sudden Death, Time Cop, or Hard Target. One of those 4.
Love Hard Target. Yeah.
Hard Target is a classic. You know what? As much as I do love Bloodsport and the others, I think I'm going to have to go with Hard Target because it's got Lance Henriksen being a complete and utter bastard in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was good.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he
an
was
Mm.
evil
And the-
fucker.
Fucker.
he was. And especially the bit with the hand grenade as well. That was just
Whoops.
comedic.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Yeah, I loved it. And even with
Whoops. Whoop.
Van Damme's, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
And even with Van Damme's never-ending bullets in his guns, it's just for that alone.
Yeah,
and his
love it.
mullet. Yeah, and his mullet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, brilliant. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, Terminator,
Hunting season
Great
is
Escape.
over.
I love that bit, and then he just goes crack.
Yeah.
Nuts in one. Love that bit. So it's Terminator, Great Escape, Hard Target, First Blood, definitely.
Awesome. Going back
could
to
watch those.
Bloodsport quickly, I was just going to say I like the character Paco in that film. I love his fighting stance because
Oh
obviously
yeah,
the fight most
Mhm.
people go like that, obviously, but he fights like that. It's quite,
Yeah.
quite funny.
yeah.
It's like he's having a little dance before he's fighting.
I always
Go on,
liked the
do the
monkey
dance.
guy. I always liked the monkey guy in Bloodsport. The black guy was sort of crawling around like a monkey. I
Oh,
always
yeah,
like
yeah.
him.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
I need to watch that again, that film. I loved it. And you know what? That 4K media book that we bought, that was the first time I watched it all the way through.
Oh really?
Completely.
Wow.
And
Oh, wow.
I loved it. And I was just kicked myself that I hadn't watched it earlier.
Yeah.
It was so good. So good. But yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
It's one of them
Right.
films I watched like 500 times or something in my life. I really watched Bloodsport a lot.
I think it's one of those films where when Canon got it right, they got it really right, and they got it right with that one. Definitely. Jen says she appreciates Resurrection for what it is. Well, fair play to you. Jen actually says the 6-day time cop Cobra. I've no opinion on Bronson, but
Great
but
shout
I
on
do.
Cobra.
Yeah, that is a good shout on Cobra. Actually, that's a really good film. Another
Great
case of
shout.
when Canon can do a good film, they do a really good film. And I
Yeah.
completely forgot about
Freaking love
6 Day.
Cobra. Yeah.
I love that poster. It's iconic.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film. Absolutely great film.
That's another thing we don't get anymore is decent film posters. Like where are they all gone?
No,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
no, that's true. That is really true. I mean, they're all like photoshopped. Shite.
Yeah.
that's my impression of you, Scott. So you know, that's
That was quite good to be fair. Yes.
thank you.
No
I do
worries.
try.
got-
I do try.
You got to smile at us, Scotty.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard worse before, that's for sure.
But no, it's just recent like Photoshop jobs where they're all just looking in different directions. I might have mentioned this before. They're all looking in different directions. And it's just the posters are so overcrowded, like with Dune Part 2. You know, it's just too much. You know, when you've got a poster like Cobra where it's just him on the front cover with his gun,
Yeah.
or you've got
Or
First
Commando.
Blood. Yeah,
Yeah,
or Commando.
Commando's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Simple designs, but they still get the point across. He's a hard but like with Commando, he's a hard bastard. You wouldn't want to mess with him in a bar.
Yeah.
Simple. You know, and it's the same with like going back to the Great Escape, the original poster of the Great Escape. You had
Yeah.
Steve McQueen, James Garner, and the rest of the cast were all obscured, all black figures, and it was just literally just a simple tagline at the top, all
Yeah.
hand drawn, all hand painted, perfect. And you don't get that now.
Yeah, the artwork covers just looked more, something epic about them. It just looked really, really unique. It's just it's just one of them. It's just one of them things. A selling point in the movie. Some of the great artwork where you could remember the covers. When they were on the VHS covers or whatever. I think it's such a shame that even on our physical media releases that they don't even put the original posters or movies that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
You know, that's a sad thing to see. You know, I mean, it could be so bad it can prevent you from actually going to go out there and actually buy the movie. Like Black Rain, the UK Blu-ray release is like one of the worst covers. Dan knows about that. I mean, it always had an epic 90s sort of cool cop sort of look, Michael Douglas, but why they never had that on the Blu-ray release? You know, they still got it on the DVD release, but it was shockingly bad. Yeah.
No, I have to agree with that. Because I mean, I got the 4K of Lost Boys, and the artwork for that was So I made my own. Made my own, but sadly it was on my other laptop, which fucking went kaflooey, so I can't show you. I made my own up. Highlander, I made my own up. You know, Alien for the 4K. That artwork was. It looked like someone just wiped their arse on a bit of toilet paper and went, "Oh, that looks good," and just slapped the alien thing on it. It was awful. So I found one, downloaded it, printed it out, and stuck it in there. It just beggars belief.
I mean, one that I'd say that really stands out it's like the Poltergeist, the original cover of that, and you see the 4K release. Image. What the fuck is that image? You wouldn't even know that it's Toby Hooper's Poltergeist. It's like,
it's awful. It's awful. I like the original one with her, like literally with her hands on the TV. The original poster. Again, it's minimal, and it works because it's creepy. But
the thing is with that cover, Mike. The thing is with that cover, you recognise it instantly. Like the new one, you just see a ray of light. It's like, what the hell is that?
Exactly.
You know, it's just like
it's shocking. It's shocking.
It's all good that we're getting all these beautiful collector's editions and these 4K editions and these deluxe editions, but you know, if you're going to do new artwork, at least give us movie fans the original as a choice. But it's when they put a release out and they say, right, that's the cover, that's the newly commissioned artwork, and sort of be done with it. It's like they try to put their own sort of stamp that they've done their work on it. I mean, you know, majority of the time, I mean, Screen Factory is probably the only sort of physical media release when they have done their newly commissioned artwork, plus Arrow, that you do get a good sort of choice where you can look at the newly commissioned one and think, oh, that's pretty good, that's pretty effective. But some of these other companies, nah.
No, I have to agree with that. Totally. What does everyone else think? Dan?
What the artwork? Yeah, I much prefer the older artwork. I was looking at the shelf, all the old Van Damme films, which are there, or Schwarzenegger films, so that Commando poster or Conan. They're much better. Like you only like even this, not by any means great cover art, but it's just Schwarzenegger, and it just sells it. It's just simple. I mean, one of my favourites is that They Live. I love that original art. They Live is one of my favourite VHS covers.
Oh, with the sunglasses pulled down, you see his eye over the top.
Yeah, it's one of my favourites.
Yeah, that is great. That is great artwork. What about you, Scott? What do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. I'd prefer the older posters and artwork easily. There's so many iconic ones. Obviously, the Cobra one at Jeff Scott is fantastic. Great cover. Some of the Rocky ones I really like as well, like Rocky 3 when he's doing his famous pose. I love that one. That's great. Some
got that one as well.
Ones, awesome stuff, Jeff. I wouldn't mind getting that myself, to be fair. Some Friday 13th ones, of course, like the fourth one looks incredible. Part 6 as well. and the original great posters.
Awesome stuff. What do you reckon, Jeff? Well, I know you've already shown off your Commander and your Cobra posters, which I am extremely jealous of, you bastard. And your Rocky 4 poster.
Yeah, got that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, if you look at movie posters back then, even if they were just a picture of a guy, like the Commando one, it was just Arnie standing there, like, "Don't fuck with me. Look at me. Look at the biceps. Yeah, you're all a bunch of girly men compared to me." You know, even when it's just a simple one, like Arnie just standing there, it just catches your eye and just looks fantastic. Even you know, something like the original Scarface poster, which sadly I don't have. I do have this, of course, which is Scarface, but not the original classic, where it's just, you know, the white and black and him standing there in a white suit with the pistol, was just a Al Pacino Scarface. Even that is a fantastic poster. And even I think I can show this if I flip the camera. But going back to your point, Mike, where you said about the Great Escape illustrated. Oh crap, that's different. But what you said about the Great Escape illustrated poster. Let's actually flip camera perspectives. Not this one. Look at this one for Honor Majesty's Secret Service. Look how much is going on in that poster. You got Bond there, you got the Bond girl, you got the Piz Gloria exploding there in the background. A lot of people here on skis. Look, I can't even count how many. And there you got, you know, Telly Savalas. It's supposed to be Telly Savalas anyway. This is a fantastic freaking poster right there.
Yeah,
it is pretty cool.
It is.
I mean, the amount of work it took to put this, you know, on a poster, all the amount of, you know, people that had to illustrate all that crap. It's fuck me. It's a work of art.
Yeah.
So yeah, movie posters definitely. Anything pre, I would say once again pre the year of 2000, probably it's amazing. And
it's kind of
beyond that. Yeah, it's became generic and stuff. Even with recent Bond posters, I mean, that's a perfect example with the Bond posters. I mean, look at any of the posters for the Daniel Craig ones. They're really not as eye catching as they used to be. Which is a shame. Yeah. I mean,
speaking of,
with the 60s one, you will remember the Dr. No poster, the From Russia with Love poster, Thunderball, whatever, Honor Majesty's Secret Service. Try and remember the Daniel Craig ones. It's just him there standing with a gun. That's it. Which again, it can be effective if done right, but yeah.
As we were talking about original artwork, and Jeff was going on about the Bond, it's a bit like the Bond movies here. I mean, I had these done.
They are that's the Thunderball poster, I remember. Yeah.
Original
that's
artwork.
Yeah.
Because
that's beautiful.
If you remember when they released the Bond ones, I think the first half were different sort of covers to.
Got one of the DVDs right there for Live and Let Die. I mean, it's not bad artwork.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's
but
okay.
They changed.
Yeah.
I think they changed them halfway through all the releases, didn't they? I think they released the first 6 or 7 movies
for the Blu-rays. I think they did. Yeah.
They looked a certain way, and then the other half was completely different. It's like it's just annoying me when they do things like that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I went into HMV. What was it? Friday. Yeah, yesterday. Sorry, so I'm losing track of the bloody days now. I really am. And looking at like all the Bond releases, and some of the artwork is okay, but it just looks too generic now.
Yeah,
it really does. Whereas when you look at the original ones, like you were saying, Jeff, about On Her Majesty's Secret Service, even when you look at, say, like Moonraker or The Spy Who Loved Me, it gave you a sense of what the film was about. They're brilliant posters. I mean, even the one for Moonraker, where you've got Bond in like the spacesuit, and then you've got Jaws floating towards him.
And Jaws,
fantastic posters. Even the one for A View to a Kill as well.
With the Golden Gate Bridge.
Cool.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I loved it. But you don't see the like of it no more. Unless you buy an arrow set with like new artwork or the original artwork on there. But
I think somebody's phone is buzzing.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah. That's mine. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm probably going to wrap. Yeah, I'm going to probably wrap it up in a minute anyway. So I'll do couple more comments.
Yeah.
All things
No worries.
film. Yam Yam. He says, "Are there any horror films where you prefer the sequels over the original?" The first one that comes to mind for me is Return of the Living Dead 3. I love that film. Also, the zombie wench is gorgeous.
Good question.
That is a
got
very
one.
good question, actually. That's a very good question.
Well, my one on that instantly would be Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah.
I've always preferred the second one over the original.
Yeah.
That's the first
Yeah.
one that's come in my mind.
I know mine. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I prefer over the original.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
I do enjoy the second one, but not over the original. But
Yeah, same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we watched it for the Halloween, the horror stream we done. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe because I hadn't seen it as much. I thought, I really like this. I love the look of Freddy in it. That's why I bought the figure from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
1 sec.
He looked really good.
No
worries.
worries. Okay.
So yeah,
That was a tune.
I really enjoyed that one, Dan. The second one.
Yeah.
It's got its haters out there, but I always enjoyed the second one.
I quite like it. To be fair, it's good.
Yeah.
I do prefer most of the Friday the 13th over the first one.
I do. To be honest.
Yeah.
Especially 4 and Jason Takes Manhattan, but a direct sequel would be Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah. Scotty, Jeff?
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
No worries, Jeff, all good. Yeah, same for me, but most of the Friday 13th sequels, my favourite would be Part 6. Absolutely love that film. Again, as 2 absolute tunes in that film, reality people ones. Those songs are so good. Absolutely love them. My favourite one being his Back Man Behind the Mask, which is such a great rock song, it really is. And maybe Child's Play Part 2 over the first one as well. I'd really have a great time with that as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Good choice, yeah.
That's a good choice.
Jeffers?
Yeah, for me, my mind also went to Friday the 13th instantly. I do actually really love the first one. I'm sort of in that regard in the same camp as Nige and Keith. I do love the first one. However, the second one I think will always be my favorite of that series. Then I would probably go with the original and then the 4th, 6th, and then the 3rd. And then the others, and I do like the 5th one, but the others beyond that, I can sort of take or leave, to be honest. Especially Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X.
Yeah.
I kind of buy those 2 films.
I'm not a fan.
But that's really the first and probably the only thing that jumped to mind, because if I look at other of these horror franchise series, sorry Nigel, if you're watching,
everybody's too afraid to say franchise now.
Yeah, Nigel's going to put a contract
put
on this.
On it.
Yeah. But no, like I was saying, the other series. I mean, Halloween, I always loved the original one. Nightmare on Elm Street, I love the original one the most. Child's Play is an interesting one that's got mentioned there, because it is a toss-up between the first and the second one. The third one I still like, but a little lesser. And don't even get me started on freaking Seed of Chucky and whatever else comes after. Yeah. So with that series, it's either the first or the second. Yeah. Well, Bride of Chucky was somewhat enjoyable. I mean, it's not as bad as Seed of Chucky. Yeah. Seed of Chucky was worse, definitely.
What about the granddaughter of Chucky?
Yeah.
And the grandson of Chucky? Fucking hell.
The great uncle of Chucky.
Yeah.
I do actually prefer Halloween 3 over the original as well. I think Halloween 3 Season of Witch is absolutely phenomenal.
I like Halloween 3 a lot, but no, it's got to be the original Carpenter one for me.
Yeah. Halloween 3 is... I love the first one, Don't get me wrong. I haven't seen the second one, so I can't comment on that. But number 3 for me.
Oh, the second is great. That's
It
really,
is,
it really
yeah.
is.
The third one for me is just there's just something about it. It's got that creep factor in it, and
It
it's
does,
something
yeah.
different, and it's I loved it, absolutely loved it. Right, who hasn't gone? Because I had to answer the phone. I'm so sorry about that, but
We've all gone. We've all gone.
Yeah.
right, so
we've all gone.
it's just me then. I would say I liked Evil Dead 2 over the first one.
That's another one I
okay.
prefer over the original. Yeah,
Even
forgot
there,
about
I would
that
go
one.
with the original myself. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
See, I do like the original, but I don't know. I think it's because I saw the second one first. I kind of prefer it. That's not to say the first one's crap. I think it's probably one of the best early horror films that I've seen. But I just prefer the second one, mainly because it's a little bit more crazier, and some of the actions make you think: is he actually imagining this, or is it really happening? And that's why I like it. As I say, Halloween 3 over the first one. What you're saying about Child's Play, I haven't seen 2 and 3 yet. I've only ever seen the first one, and I really liked it. But I've got 2 and 3 upstairs, so I'll have to try and watch them at some point. But with the Jason films, I'm gonna have to watch them again to make a decision on that. And I think with Nightmare on Elm Street, I'd have to say number 3 over number 1.
Great sequel.
That is my second favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I do like the first one, because the first one set the benchmark, number 3 has got some imaginative kind of kills, especially with the whole puppet sequence.
Yeah.
And when they go
right
into the
sequel,
dream and
yeah.
you know he's fighting against the girl who had the drug addiction, his fingers turn into needles. And
Yeah.
that's quite dark. That's quite dark.
It is, yeah.
You know, and that's why I like that one more. But
Yeah, I kind
you
of
know what?
the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, that ending, just kind of the bit with the door.
Yeah, with the car.
Mm.
Yeah.
You sort of think that with that ending scene was a little bit rushed. So I kind of get what Mike says, because like I always have the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Part 3 pretty sort of neck and neck.
Yeah.
But that ending of the original movie, even though that one's Wes Craven and he has got a bit of influence on the other, I think the third movie, I think he's got an influence on that. Or he had involvement
I think so,
in
yeah.
it.
I think he was the producer or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he was involved in that. But that ending of the original movie was a little bit not. It wasn't well executed.
I think that's because he didn't want to do that ending.
The mother.
Yeah.
The mother through the doorway.
Yeah.
That looked a bit. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Wes Craven would probably sort of think, I should have.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that. I think he wanted to do something else, but the studio sort of forced him into filming that ending. I think that's what I've heard anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I probably would have preferred that ending if they'd have cut the bit where the mother gets pulled through the window and just have the car driving off into the sunset with Freddy Krueger, like his laugh as the car's driving off and the kids are screaming and they want to get out. That would have probably been a bit more terrifying, because it makes you think, are they all dreaming it or what? It would have been left open for a bit more interpretation instead of her being pulled through. It was just cheap. I mean, it was a great ending when I first saw it many years ago, but when you watch it now, it's like, no, that doesn't work for me. Really doesn't work for me. So, right, I think we've gone just over half hour over. I think we're gonna have to leave it there for tonight. But you know what? I've actually had a lot of fun.
It's been good night. I've really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even though I've had a few connection issues with everyone going, and then I'm trying to catch up with what people are saying. But you know what? I've had a blast this evening. I really have. I just want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you to everyone in the comments. Thank you to everyone who's watched. and what's his name, Minagil for throwing all those comments at us with all those sequels that we haven't even heard of yet. But fair play to you. Thank you very much. You know, you're welcome back anytime.
Mike.
Yeah,
no, thank you for.
Yeah, thanks for
no,
having
thank
us.
you all for coming on.
Yeah.
No, thank you all for coming on. It's been an absolute hoot and an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. So, all it remains to say is thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again soon. So, good night, everyone.
And
Bye,
keep punching.
Cheers, guys, for watching.
See you later.